Alright, here we are with Godbound, Evicting Epistle, Season 1, Episode 2. We're in August 2018, and to my left we have Explain Why.
Nicole playing Thea.
Tyler playing Mateel.
Kevin playing the Crimson Marquis.
Peter as Azazel the Goat-Headed.
Mark playing Lothar.
Alright, gang, so, who would like to recap what happened last session? Session 1.
We fought a dinosaur, a robot dinosaur.
That was a mistake, and we quickly parted ways.
He was performing a social experiment upon a group of plant-like individuals who were dealing with hostile opposing tribes, as well as a type of necromancer king off in the distance somewhere. So he granted them a weapon, essentially a weapon that exchanged sacrifices for bullets and guns.
It was so good.
We were not fans.
I mean, he didn't realize that they make it.
But by confronting him, we did win the allegiance of the people he was experimenting on.
Yes.
Who remembers the name of the tribe's leader?
Blood Oak.
There we go. Peter with the names. Alright. Well, it's going to be probably a few days from that encounter as you continue traveling southwest towards the desert. You'll reach there by the end of this scene setup, so to speak. So, do you guys want to interact at all? We should have reference to listeners that this episode marks where Nicole rebuilt Fea's words, getting rid of fertility insects, Fey Queen, and exchanging them for true AI, networking, and health. Networking and AI, of course, being organic and meat in nature, no technology. Which we'll cover in an off-topic. The whys and the thematics of it, you'll love it. So yeah, you guys are traveling. I believe the Crimson Marquis has been busy in one of the cargo holds. He's kind of sealed off, walled off to himself, building projects.
He has kind of locked himself in there, taking very few visitors.
Well, you have to take these guys as visitors, because, you know.
Yeah. Very few visitors otherwise, but occasionally he'll have Thea or Mateel enter. Yeah. The ship is a fair bit heavier once all is said and done.
Yeah, and the Energon condenser is drawing extra power to the area. So like every once in a while you'll hear like this kind of low chanting hum as the condensed as the literal like condensation like water incantations running through the power lines have to thrum more and talk more. Repeating ancient scriptures in electricity format.
And once he emerges in a smock and goggles, he is quite covered in viscera and oil and just other substances. But there are now 2 large machines built into the ship. Yeah. What would it be called in character?
In character, or just the arsenal?
Yeah, the arsenal.
I imagine it looking like almost like a blacksmith's like forge area, like like the forge where they're hammering stuff and it's all molten.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like a revolver's like 6-slot revolver where there's like sword holes in it.
Yeah.
And it's just constantly firing them down to into a lockup.
At the very center is a bullet type capsule. It is crystalline, and inside is a. Who would you say was the person in your crew who best embodied the ideals of freedom? Yes.
Lucian committed the noble sacrifice.
Yeah, so he is floating within that crystal
Duty
bullet
called
casing.
for Lucian, and he paid the price.
Yeah. Wires integrated into his skin. A mask on. He's not technically dead.
He's not really in pain either. He's sleeping.
Yeah. It's a very gentle thing.
Sleeping the forever sleep.
And his very essence is kind of being imprinted into swords. Just an armory of swords.
The arsenal is creating +2 intelligent cursed swords that are zealots about freedom, rebellion, and tearing down the establishment. At a massive amount.
That sounds like a bad idea.
And it'll be fine. You know what that sounds like a bad problem for? Adventurers in 10,000 years.
Yeah, it's
You know
Meteor's.
what did adventurers ever do for Thea? Stabbed her in where her dick hole would be and sealed her away forever. That's
Yeah, except like we're gonna be the established order that they're railing against.
But that's the future TS problem.
To be fair, this is also Matilda's version, like ideal version
Yeah.
of freedom and whatnot. So I don't think she doesn't come off as the sort of person who'd be like, yeah, tear down absolutely everyone who tries to tell you what to do.
they're also low magic items.
Yeah.
They're a frat. Unless they all gather together into a giant man made of +2 swords. +2 sword man.
So yeah, that's the first one, and the second is
It's making like a cocking and like reloading sound as it works because it's automated now. So like empty materials in one revolve around and it goes through 6 stages. And the last one there's like a gunfire sound and it's a full sword and it drops through into like a holding area.
yeah.
So it's constantly making a clicking sound.
Occasionally, the bottom of the ship just like a cannon shoots it in a capsule into the ground and buries it. So that
Its
you know,
own little tree trunk somewhere, like Siegfried's sword.
yeah,
Into the leg, where the ladies can the city
just impales a nymph, and she's like, "Oh God!"
get it away.
Threw it a random human.
And the second one, what is that called?
I didn't have a name for it.
I think we settled on the Genesis prototype.
Oh, right, yes.
Yes. So that looks altogether more eldritch, a combination of black iron and flesh. And in the center is a
A lot of red lights.
lot of red lights. Is a large orb containing an Acer and Thay.
The Acer that you guys brought on board, it's his severed head and it has like tendrils coming down and like eye stalks coming out of its mouth. And he's just happy.
It's just happy. And so the chip that just, gives him an adrenaline rush every.
It's fine. He's fine. Everything's fine.
So yeah, there are a group of 20 very pale-looking plant people in that room, just kind of feeding it these strange white orbs that they pull from their mouths on occasion.
Yeah, it's been a few days, and if you guys dock anywhere, they get to work. There's plenty of battlefields down there. So yeah, they're putting orbs into slots, and like the machinery's making clunking sounds. I guess you guys are all here looking at what the Marquis did. And there's 2 tanks on the side that are boiling and hissing, and then every once in a while they'll open and water will come out, and then naked as the day he was born, Acer and Thay will tumble out. Looking just like the original, but really different. Like, again, features are all scrambled up. Like that first one you killed. And then there's that second one in there. There's a third and a fourth and a fifth.
Oh, good. Now there's more.
There's actually a few of them recognize you, and a few of them are like, who's this? Who's that?
Hello, God. Hello, Mommy. One of them comes out a woman.
That'll happen.
He was always like that. The Genesis Project, for listeners, creates... It's an impossible change that was dumped down to improbable because of Kevin's engineering gifts. Takes living souls and turns them into copies of Acer and Thay.
Rewrites them.
Yeah, it rewrites the soul like a fucking DVD being burned over with a mixtape into what Acer and Thay was like-ish. They've done this a lot of times, so it's a little photocopy.
It's working clean.
So you got a collection of Acer and Thays walking about.
And hey, no moral ambiguity. The souls would have either been tortured forever or stopped existing afterwards if I didn't do this.
Yeah, the Mercy Planty women go about finding people who are like sick and dying and take their souls.
Clan Katnos, as they're called.
Yeah, which was another Dominion project. We did a lot of Dominion projects, listeners, like 17 Dominion worth. That's what you do in Godbound.
Yeah. They're also called Mothers of Mercy, and they kind of resemble those bleeding heart plants, if people have seen those.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone have comments?
I think shocked silence.
Yeah, I think Lothar just sort of looks and sort of twerks his head to one side, like trying to understand what exactly that is, like a very confused bird, because it is so damned outside his experience.
The Marquis removes one of his gloves and kind of wrings it out of brain matter and juices. This is only the beginning.
I'll go and I'll inspect one of the swords. Like, well, Marquis, you certainly deliver.
That I do. It has been a pleasure exchanging such miracles with you. May there be many in the future.
There's a bit of a cheer in the background as some of the Acerins smash a wine bottle on the tank where the severed head is in, and they're all like drinking and stuff. And like, haha! They're all patting themselves on the back.
Hi, I'm Jerry.
Yeah, like exactly like confident Jerry.
I will have like quickly produce clothes like in like a closet beside there, ready for them when they come out.
Yeah, the jumpsuit, which is basically their wizard uniform.
Probably like a shower to wash the goo. So that's that.
Yeah. And then there were 2 other Dominion projects, I believe.
Peter's goatlings got stronger because he was training them. All the pirates on here are now hardened mercenaries, or not, what's the word I'm looking for? Militiamen. We have birds that are slowly starting to gather around the ship as Lothar has set up a project to attract birds to defend the vessel. Take bolts and arrows for it. Marines, that's the word I'm looking for. Your pirates are Marines now. But yeah, it's an eclectic crew as your, like, you know, your cast-off pirate horde has, you know, kind of come together, and then you got these plant people, and now there's more vampires and Acerins joining the mix. There's goats.
Yep.
Nah. Disorder. They're testing out how strong they are. They're like half the size of a person, and like they're going up to like tables and flipping them over.
Headbutting each other.
Yeah, headbutting the shit out of each other.
It's Darwinism.
Yeah, so everyone's kind of celebrating, you know, as you guys are on course for the south.
How big is this ship? Like,
Big enough that it can hold, like, you know, a couple hundred people.
is it getting pretty full at this point?
It is
I
getting
guess?
pretty full.
Yes.
People are going to have to start doubling up and stuff.
If we encounter more followers further south, what shall we do? Shall we simply leave them where they are? I do worry, particularly with this Horned King they've mentioned, that we would be leaving them in danger.
Especially so far from the area we've already scouted out.
I was thinking of giving some followers wings if they were flying for a good portion of the day and only rested on the boat at times. That would be one possibility.
Also, don't you have a lifeboat? Like, we took the lifeboat down, didn't we? Oh
There's-
no,
there's
wait,
a-
you
there-
flew us down.
He flew us down, but there are rowboats.
So, that could help a bit.
Yeah, I mean, we're still packed in a comfortable fashion. We can double up and even triple up if needed. We can stow quite a lot of people, but I think in regards to whether or not we want to form an enclave or take them with us, we'll have to look at that on an as-needed situation, see how we leave the area.
I suppose it does not serve us to simply bring everyone we find with us back home. So,
Yes. Especially because they would be... There's no central culture. So it's not like when the ones we find where we are the same as the ones we found elsewhere. Drastically different cultural norms are to be expected.
Someone has their
Also, sorry, but out of character, do you want to pull up the map of how many people can fit in a square cube from Black Star again? That was amazing.
One of the Acerins has their hand up. Oh, by the way, when they come out, they have their own little ritual they do where they get a kettle full of boiling oil that has handles on either side, and they lift it up by their palms, and it burns a symbol into their palms and their flesh, and then they put honey on, and it has numbers on it, 000X.
is that how they like to be referred to?
No, just call them Acerin. But number 4 has her hand up.
Yes, Acerin.
Why don't we take the worshippers that are less useful or skilled that we want to bring back to our base and turn them into toads? Toads take up far less cubic space than people forms.
True. That's actually a very good idea.
Yes.
Provided they're willing.
Toad's not... You can do other things than toads, right?
Who can turn people into toads?
I mean, toads are just the easiest. Magic naturally wants people to become toads. Why do you think so many princes get turned into frogs?
It's like the natural state of
It's just natural magic.
No, it's actually not a terrible idea at all.
We
No.
always have enough flies to feed toads. Will their
Um,
minds be toads, or will their minds be people?
well, it depends on who's doing the magic. If you're using the proper spell to like shapeshift allies into scouts, you can offload their brain into a pocket dimension that accesses the small interface in the toad skull. If you're just turning princes to toads, that ain't a dick. Anything.
This one's completely gone, obviously.
It might be better
I don't know if the clone thing is working.
for them not to remember.
It would make it significantly less uncomfortable.
One of the
Yeah,
Ace
I
runes,
wouldn't.
number 3 is wheeling out a small little luxury terrarium with little houses and little like toad bars, a little fly barbecue pit.
It's adorable.
We're gonna put them in a cage.
Well, as long as they can be brought back to normal.
Yes,
I was gonna say, oh, of course, and I'm like, I better.
almost certainly. Wait. One of the Ace was just kind of vaguely pointing around the room to Lothar.
Yes.
Turn them into birds. Because you're a bird god of birds.
And they could follow around.
Yes. That does seem like an excellent course of action.
Turn hundreds and hundreds of the refugees into birds, and then they can just follow us back until we want them to be in a useful shape.
If
Birds
they
are
are
light.
birds, they are very light. If they are birds, though, we probably want them to retain their own memories, so they don't just fly away. You're a
Yes.
bird. They'll probably want to follow you anyways, though.
Yeah.
We'll also have to double the deck swabbing duty.
I was actually thinking of building like a thing on the side, like a rail. I mean, or some little houses or something.
Well, like
We're going to have a lot of birds around. I thought that would be.
bird like swing.
An aviary.
A cage.
So yes, that is not. Yeah, that is an excellent idea. We shall take the ones who are refugees, those whose tribes have been destroyed. It does seem as though there is a significant number of those around here.
Yes, with the breakers and the seasons and all other manner of foo and nonsense.
Oh yeah, the seasons. You know, I killed them once.
Say so.
Number 7.
Is he younger than the rest?
No, his voice just sounds like that.
Okay.
His vocal cords came out a little gooey. They're a little rough. If you're not prepared.
Well, we're not planning on fighting them for a while, at least.
Historically, an unwise idea without a proper plan. Yes.
Yes. Definitely want to wait till after the Helldivers deal with their boss first.
Speaking of which, that is who we are seeking out. Yes, I've kind of lost track with all the diversion in the past few weeks.
Helldiver, yes, he will probably be there.
Mastema.
I had like a thing with their all the NPCs' names. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, same.
Is he trustworthy?
As trustworthy as a Helldiver can be.
Someone actually met him?
Yeah, most. I think a few of us have. Haven't
I haven't met him. No, not me. I haven't met him at all. No, I don't know who this guy is.
I have, simply not on a personal level.
I don't remember if I have or not.
He's only 2 hit die.
Okay.
I know he hates you, but I don't know if I've actually met him.
I don't think he's the one who hates me.
Yeah,
I
the
don't know.
Helldiver hates you.
Let me go down the list.
Noctis.
Crimson Marquis sparked a conflict between Mastema and the Evil Breaker, and it's not resolved. Crimson interfered with Matael trying to track down Mastema, and he stopped him because he feared their union.
Right, because I'm trying to get this Helldiver either killed by the Breaker so that the other Helldivers take action against it, or...
Yeah, I think that's the only...
So, not really.
Yeah,
Which I assume I'm doing with some kind of evidence to back up that they will actually react in such a way, rather than just, I'm gonna throw this guy at a Breaker and see what happens. Maybe someone will get pissed.
that's all we got for the Breaker, for the Helldiver.
Just put
And I think, and
Chris, when he hated someone.
Right? Like, couldn't you have sworn that? Right?
Also, we had a vision that something was going to happen in the south.
Yeah, but I could have sworn he also hated you. I thought both he and the King of Nocturnus hated you.
no,
I don't see it.
Yep.
That's so bizarre.
And then I sort of added in that my character was taught the basics of his martial art from him.
Oh, that's so bizarre.
Well, Mastema taught you hunter style?
Yeah, which seemed like a sort of... It just seemed like a...
Yeah, sure. You know stuff.
You met him.
Alright, you know Mastema the Decapitator.
He's very well named.
Oh, lovely. My favorite method of execution.
It's hard to beat the classics.
It's the one thing that can fucking kill him.
Well, I guess then you guys continue on southwest on the way to the big oasis, that big lake.
Right, the
That was
one
in the
we had a
dream.
premonition about.
Yeah. A vague premonition that we generated with those cards. It wasn't like some railroad we made up, it just came up from the cards.
Also keeping an eye out for the Horned King or anything that looks like super destructive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, signs
We
of
heard they're going
necromancy.
that way. We don't know.
Breakers.
Yeah, like as you guys are flying above, you see like a giant wolf with like thousands of wolves following it, just kind of running across an open field and stuff. You know, it's like its fur is thick and covered in bark and stone and stuff. Has a bunch of eyes. It's just galloping across the land. You guys want to get into a fight with it? Kill it for its parts.
Immediately, he's just sort of like... Lothar's just sort of looking over the top, and he kind of looks back, and everyone's just sort of
Welcome down.
not really that interested.
When Crimson Marquis takes out his camera phone and just snaps a picture.
It's fair. Alright, maybe a week is going to go by as your Dominion projects matriculate. More Eastern Phase end up being popped out. A hold eventually gets put on it because you ran out of space, and you can just, stockpile souls in the little gumball machine built into it, little capsules.
Can they transmogrify themselves to make room? Like, can they just be like, I'm gonna turn into a cat, or not a cat? A cat's a really bad idea on this ship. Into mice or something?
Because
Oh,
birds?
Yeah, we could do that. We could, we could do it instead of, the less useful people. Definitely.
No, just if you want to make more of yourselves. That's what I mean.
We'll just put a hold on it now and stay people shaped. That's all right with you, God.
Absolutely. Just a suggestion.
Kind of gives a side glance to you. That's all right. Okay.
You're all wizards. You're much more important.
Yep.
Just all of them casting fireball at once. We're just like, we don't want this desert anymore. We want it to be the glass fields.
Mediocre. All right. Well, in that case, like I said, a week or so is going to go by. Let me just... So, how do you guys spend your day on the ship? Like, let's say it's a random afternoon. What do you guys do? Some of you have to actually eat. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not all of you are beyond mortal food.
I don't think any of... Oh, am I?
I don't know. Some of you don't have to breathe. You don't have to breathe, I don't think.
Why don't you have to breathe?
Doesn't dancing
don't.
sustain you as food?
Oh my god, that's amazing. You're just jazzercising for health.
So that might be... Oh yeah, it is.
That's fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need to sleep or eat.
Just
Like-
the fuzzy leg warmers on, and she's doing like dancing.
Like you're in the crow's nest doing the footloose emotional dancing as lightning striking you because you're immune to lightning because of Sky.
Yeah.
The music's in the background.
Have we found any people along the way just that we've picked up at all, or?
Little bits of people you can see in trees or people who hang by cricks and stuff.
For me, it says, whatever shape my body is, it's the same attributes or whatever, and it says, if robotic, this body requires neither sustenance nor rest.
No, that makes sense. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not
You're
a
fine.
robot, but I'm not a...
No, it's artificial in nature. Like, it's divinely artificial because it's just a shell containing an angry Shoggoth core. So many eyes. Crush their bones, drink the meat out of it.
Jesus.
Actually, anyone who dances with me is also restored.
So there's no larder.
There's just a big communal jig.
Do you think my vampires could benefit from that?
What's the wording of it?
Yeah.
Dance is as restorative as sleep and food to the Godbound and those who dance with them.
Yeah, sounds like.
So yeah, in order to save on blood reserves, That he just assigns all 20 of those plant vampires and the other ones to just come up and dance with you every night.
You got a god of fertility here that can make A, plants for food, and probably B, plants for
Can you make souls and blood? Can you make souls for food?
I don't know. I was so many buildings, you're just crashing out 20 of them, and you got maybe one soul. But then the meat grinder.
I mean, the people
You
who
make a
probably
vampire plant that runs off souls and rebirths them every time they die, just as a...
It's basically what these nymphs are.
Yeah, I imagine the mortals on the ship would probably appreciate, like, oh, hey, we can just have wine. Like, we can dance, or we can have actual taste stuff.
Yeah.
There's options. So yeah, the vampires will come up. The Marquis has brought a few people onto the ship who are mortals, and he just takes one of them into his cabin every once in a while when he's thirsty.
Perfect.
Um,
What about you, Thea?
I think that Thea is going to be currently working on spreading her
Oh shit.
hives throughout the ship.
Yeah, every single day, in a mile radius around you, those hives automatically generate.
Yeah.
So like you'll be flying above a tree line, and some of the trees will just start to swell up and twist, and a different tree will burst out from them, covered in fungus and insects.
I mean, given
Like
a
a
few
radio
years, the
antenna?
whole map will be covered in hives.
Yes, given a few years, that's exactly what will happen. Yes, you have found Thea's plan.
Ugh.
At some point, we can eventually just start burning them if there's too many. It's just like, hey, we kind of have a limit here, and at the moment,
Yeah.
we're just gonna...
Also, it
It's just
doesn't
overriding Fooey stuff with Thea stuff.
like it's not like there won't be food.
It's not like the multiplying cakes from the SCP Foundation.
No.
Apocalypse
Did
situation.
that fucking happen in a Game of Wars?
The Joyride cakes.
Fucking Jolly Ricky.
The Joyrides made a cake and it started multiplying, and it became a problem. You had to kill
It took
all
over
of
the
it.
entire library.
Yeah, it did, and you had to kill all of it, and those goblins got diabetes from it. They were eating it for 47 years, which is a lot for a goblin.
How did they even live
Goblins.
that long?
They were drinking each other's blood for insulin.
I just mean goblins usually kill themselves within like 2 years.
They were eating cake for 47 years. They were killing themselves slowly.
So yeah, also going to be gathering useful information. Like, I don't know if you guys have books in the past. You're cave people, you probably don't have books.
Yeah, you don't even have houses, so...
Whoa.
Can you read?
Seriously, you probably don't.
No, actually,
Like,
No,
I
books
don't
are-
I don't think you guys have like a form of writing
there
yet.
probably is, like, at some point, like, in some cultures, but no.
Not on this side of the world.
Oh my god, yeah, you guys probably just developed language.
Right? Like, seriously, I'm not even being
Oh
like,
yes, runes are known by the wise men and shaman, but every tribe's are
Papyrus and
different.
stuff, like notes and stuff, or like what do you call those? Cuneiform.
We're in a world where there isn't even a printing press yet. I keep forgetting.
right?
And he's just sitting here with an actual cell phone because high-tech society.
Right.
But also, how does this ship work?
It has an energon condenser that powers the gravity spiders.
Okay.
A wizard did it.
Yeah.
And that fuels the sails and stuff, and the wind helps it along.
It's for the wombs of the machine. It's for the future people. It's a future ship.
The gravity spiders are low intensity frequency cannons that keep firing at the ground continuously on different patterns, so it floats, but really it's just shooting itself off the ground.
That's amazing. It sounds like a Juliarite made it. Also, if we fly over top any future tech society or anything, I want to hack them.
You're not coming across anything.
Okay.
Also, I think they'd shoot us immediately if we flew over them. Like,
Oh,
not
that's
even
a
like...
ship. You guys could be having like supplies or something.
Oh, yeah, I guess they trade amongst each
They're
other.
not insane.
I mean, it depends.
I mean, we're not.
you
We're not
say
going
that,
near,
but I've read some of them. Dude.
we're not going near the Juliarites.
The Jollards are the closest one.
I know. We're going.
We're not
this way,
associating
and
with
they're
them.
up here.
Oh, yeah, if any of you, like, even bring up the Jolarites, the Crimson Marquis
It's like, who are
Has-
those guys again? Who
has
is that?
words about them.
You want to have a conversation about it? You want to talk about the Jolarites?
So, does
like the
anyone-
dragon?
Yeah, that would be about. So what? Many questions about the giant dragon thing. What is an anthropologist? What is a shadow anthropologist? And who are those guys who seem to know who they were?
I can't answer the first two because, to a Jolerite, anthropologists could mean anything because words have no actual meaning to them because nothing has any soul meaning. The Jolarites are a group of fanatics who ate their own god, broadcast it to the world, and I'm going to be straight with all of you. They loved their god. He was the best, one of the best amongst the gods that existed, and they ate him happily. So, I'm going to suggest that we do not make enemies of the Jolarites, but also that we do not make friends with them. They worshipped their god, and they still consumed him.
Make no friends, make no enemies, make only corpses.
I would compare it to your hyper elves. Your
Oh, yes, that is a good and easy comparison. So one day we will hunt them and it will be glorious.
one day, perhaps, but for the time being, I would suggest we simply let them carry out their games.
Wise. Okay.
They're dangerous and unpredictable, and their unpredictable nature is terrifying.
If they get really upset, they'll send the clowns.
Send in the clouds.
Marquis looks very, very uncomfortable at that. He just...
28 Acerins just cutting like some food. Suspiciously arm-sized.
always be wary, even in casual dialect with them. Because again, even if they like you, it's not going to stop them from devouring you for your god seed. I'm not saying that we have something of the sort. That is our power source. I'm saying that they will eat it regardless.
Duly
Smart
noted.
people.
What was that?
It's duly noted.
They're nuts. You don't want to deal with them unprepared.
Of all the societies I wish had died with the last world, it's them.
Fair. At least with the other ones, they're a unified
They're unified,
faction.
and no matter how they act, even if they're erratic, you can still roughly predict what they're going to do and how they're going to react to your own actions. The Jolarites, they could do anything. I've never even heard of these dark... What was it? Dark anthropologists?
Shadow.
Whatever they call themselves. I've never even heard of them. They must be a reaction to this new world. I can only imagine how their society has altered itself already within these short few years. So yeah, that's all he has to say about them.
You're scared of them.
Yes.
It's a fair response there.
It's very distinct in his tone, and he's very calm about most things, but the Jolarites actually terrify him.
Well, the one we ran into was certainly formidable.
Formidable, and likely not even one of their roughest. He was a student,
He was a professor.
He had tenure.
a tenured, yes.
He wasn't a war machine. He wasn't a warmonger or a warrior or a necromancer or a wizard king. He was a professor, like a teacher.
Oh, yes.
You know, like staff.
Yes, this tenure must be a powerful source indeed.
Oh, it really is.
It absolutely
Oh, it's
is.
so good.
One day we will give it to our scholars.
Later on, another Acer and walks up to you, Thea, mysteriously you see an arm and kind of just taps on the shoulder. It's like, can you fix my arm, Mom?
Of course.
Thank you.
It's going to be a little more chitin-y than before, but...
He's like,
A little flaky.
it's so dry.
So, Lothar will occasionally get offered to give six people at a time to go hunting.
Perfect. People
either-
take you up on that offer.
Yeah.
They want to go with a hunting god. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And they can fly. Flying's amazing.
Yep. So yeah, basically just the ones kind of note the ones who actually enjoy it and are
yeah.
actually
People love that shit.
okay.
Are you hunting with like melee weapons or are they using guns? What are you hunting with?
We'll say
The wicks?
basically. I'll say yeah. We'll go with some crudely crafted spears. Got a couple
Perfect.
of those.
Yeah, no, everyone's into that.
And just request don't use magic, don't use guns because it's too easy.
Yeah, no, they're into it. They're really into it.
Slowly the cult. So which ones enjoy it, and
Yeah.
slowly I'll turn it into a cult.
Perfect. Yeah, no, easy enough. Yeah. So after dinner, people just kind of start to clear out and stuff. You guys are done talking. You hear screaming from one of the holds, and one of the doors is being battered.
Race down.
Like, it's right over there. That door is being, like, battered open.
Yeah, we head down there very quickly.
There's no down to go, and when you open the door, the thing is there.
The thing.
Yeah. When you guys are, like, going to open the door or make it open with, like, the sky and your command of the ship, because you're its captain, Davy Jones style.
Okay.
The door opens. It's one of the past people, and he's like twitchy, and he has an axe with him, like one of the fire axes for the ship, and he's covered in blood, and he's just swinging around screaming. No. So that's happening. There's a guy with an axe swinging it around, going nuts.
I'm going to use my preternatural dance ability to sashay in under his guard, past where he's swinging the axe, and pry it out of his hands.
Easily. He's no big deal. You have it. You've done it. It happens without any interference.
Oh, you've got freedom, so you can maybe cleanse his mental state, right?
Yeah. If he's under any kind of mental compulsion or anything, you can free him
Oh,
of it,
crazy.
right? Or if he's crazy, but I don't know if you... I don't know.
I think that's actually how freedom works. You can even free people from like mental.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I just know because there's also a word of madness. I just I don't know.
Yeah, but unfortunately, madness actually is the caveat that it doesn't. I believe it doesn't specifically weirdly work on anyone who's actually in.
No, totally
No,
does.
madness
No,
totally.
super
it
does.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh man, it can even like cause and cure all sorts of things. You can do so much with madness. It's a really strong word. It's horrifically strong.
Okay. Can I tap into the power of freedom and cure him from his...
Yes, and you can see the
Compulsion?
source of his madness.
What
His
is it?
disease. There's something in his brain pushing against his skull, trying to burrow its way out.
Any health
Is this
goddess
the
want
guy
to
with
step
the
to the
arm
plate?
pop with the arm issue from earlier?
No, that was an Acer and Faye. One of them cut off his arm. It was consensual, and that guy cooked it up and ate it. This is just one of the past people.
Oh, now that Acer has to fucking burn his hand again.
Yeah, it's fine. He'll love it.
But
It's only agony.
Anyways,
He seems to have something implanted inside him. Can
He's
one
like
of you
frothing
free
at the
him?
mouth, screaming.
it's not one of mine, right?
No, it's
Okay.
not.
Just I'm like,
It's a
did I do
past
this? Okay. Can I heal him? I don't have healing magic.
You can create a
You
hole
have
in
health
his
and
head.
miracles.
Yeah. Just make his body reject it, like push it out without.
Yeah, I can heal the stuff around it. That's what it'll be like.
And also, Freedom's doing a pretty good job of like pushing away the kind of. But yeah, if you just use
Lay
your
on hand.
like miracle, go into his brain and pull it out, flesh through water.
Yeah.
Like as if his flesh was water.
Yeah.
All right, so Thea walks up to him as you're holding him, dancing around him, keeping him capoeira caged, T-posing him into submission. You go in and root around in his brain and pull out this screaming, roaring little red salamander covered in chitin. It has no eyes, and its mouth opens up into a couple other mouths, and it has like little vestigial, like fetal limbs on it.
Do I recognize it?
Oh yeah,
I'm
you've seen
very
it.
smart.
You're well good at supernatural stuff. Who else has gifts and words and facts?
Fertility to understand its species and stuff.
Do you have like history or facts?
No.
about it?
He has specific
Well,
facts about
I'm
being good at.
Teotech.
Only
and
if it's a
so on.
natural creature that gets hunted by.
It's not natural. I'm sorry.
Figured out.
You're from around here.
Yep.
So do you have facts about being from around here? About being like world savvy?
If it's related to the Fae at all, I do.
Here, I'm just gonna look at your thing real quick without even pausing. Satyr, Captain, renowned and charismatic, unknown throughout the world. Yeah, your world, we're at enough to see this. That is a child of Shemzeroth. It happens sometimes.
What is that?
They get into people and eat them from the soul out and burst out of them and then grow into like these little eldritch reptile things, amphibian things. Wickedly intelligent and maliciously selfish.
And it just happens.
That's what they say. Sometimes you can get it from food, bad meat, falling afoul of a witch. Being out under certain moonlight does it.
Man, that's brutal.
Yeah, one of the Epistle's moons, the red moon of Caparaka, they say has a marking of Shemzeroth burrowed into it. So like when it reflects just right, it just hits the ground.
I'm going to squish this.
Well, hold on.
Up?
It burrows into things and then grows and kills them from the inside out?
It's like a fever. The fever gets to them, and then the fever starts growing it like mucus or like pus in a wound, and then it coagulates into the salamander.
Can you use this? Can you weaponize it?
You want me to weaponize
It is clearly already weaponized, just to throw this out there.
it? Yeah, but it can be altered so that it's, useful for us.
So the only way to get rid of that, take it and eat it, like the goat.
Well, that answers that.
It is a Shemzeroth thing, not a Caparaka thing. Excellent.
Smart move. So you're just like, not fuck with this, I'm just gonna kill this?
I'm gonna eat it, absorb it, understand it by myself.
Sure. Crisis averted. I just want to throw that random encounter at
That answers that.
Is it known to like spread to other people or be infectious?
you. Only if they got it from the same source.
If they ate meat because we were hunting and whatnot, would it be possible for me to very quickly, with my engineering word, make a detector X-ray, basically?
I think the three
I
of you
think-
work.
I
You've
think-
got health.
yeah.
Health can
Yeah.
detect
I think,
diseases.
yeah, I think I can just detect it.
Oh yeah, so especially since you just saw it, just
Yeah.
going
And
around.
then you got freedom, and then you got beasts. You have beasts, right?
By birds.
It was birds, alacrity, and what?
Might.
Might. Man, you were really physical.
Yes.
Sorry. Alright, well, the group of you can do a quick sweep of the people you have on board. It looks like when he was rock climbing on one of your layovers, he tripped and fell and hit his head on a ruby, and that ruby was just coated in illness.
Did he take the ruby with him?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I do like rubies, so I'm just going to sterilize that and keep the actual gem.
Yeah, you just gotta boil it in water.
Perfect. That easy, huh?
It's just an infection.
That's actually really good.
It's just like the flu, but it just, goes bad.
Lethal.
It's just really good that it's super easy to deal with.
Yeah,
It's
just
like,
boil the water.
you can just start teaching these people. It's like boil things, boil your water before you
Like
drink it.
one of
Boil the rocks.
Like, he
the
didn't get sick 'cause
initiation for my church is basically that kind of thing.
Your fucking food safety training course.
One of their the daily thing they have to do
Wash their hands.
as part of their prayer is bathe. Like
Yeah, like this
these
guy
are
didn't-
the basic things I'm introducing as part of my religion.
Oh, drinking clean water every day is, a mess. How about I just keep the same water and bathe in the same thing every day?
Yeah, this guy didn't get sick because he handled it. He fell on it and pierced his head and stuff, and then it got infected and stuff.
He's fine though afterwards.
Yeah, he's rattled, but yeah, he's fine. You got health, freedom.
Oh, did he kill anybody?
Well, he took swings at people, but you have mercy hands, so that kind of clears itself up. Someone,
Okay.
he probably accidentally got.
Well, don't worry, the souls will go into the Acer Fey machine. They're not lost.
Plus, I could just miracle health to bring it back.
Do you want a miracle health and back to life, or do you want the vampire suck his soul out into the afterlife of the Acer Fey machine?
Who was it?
Just
A
guy.
past person.
It'd be pretty godlike to bring someone back in front of all.
Yeah, I kind of want to bring him back, but I have enough Acerins. I have enough Acerins. He's gonna get more of them. It's fine. I'm gonna bring this guy back.
You're so charitable.
Look at me, I'm God. I don't say that like that, but yeah.
That's a nature god I can get behind.
Raised from the dead. Lazarus style.
Yeah.
Everyone loves you guys because you diffuse the situation handily.
Without shooting him.
Yes. Without shooting him. Without you and Keith David having to throw Molotov cocktails at him.
Just setting him on fire the moment he appears.
All right. The weeks go by, as I was saying, and forest and grasslands and lush valleys give way to desert, D-E-S-E-R-T, sand everywhere. Rivers and Niles and crisscrosses and, stuff that are in deserts are all around you. It's very hot. It's actually, it's extremely hot. It's like peak season here.
I guess somewhere across here not so long ago.
I dislike it here.
Because it's coarse.
Ah, it's not so bad. Heat on your face, bracing wind.
We'll make it better.
I prefer moister climates, but
I prefer the frigid cold. It makes for warm fires and festive feelings.
I can see the appeal of that too.
I'm not a fan of freezing cold. Nothing lives there. Well, few things.
Yet.
Precisely.
No, the agents comment. They're just like looking around.
We shan't be that far away now.
You are not. As you're coming upon that giant oasis, you can see that there are settlements built around it. Like, not all conglomerate together, but like every few breaks, you can see that there are clearly like river cities and like people that have like set up kind of, you know, a basic irrigation and sort of hanging gardens of Babylon style setups, like Babylonian, early Mesopotamian stuff.
They actually have houses.
Yeah, they're far enough away.
So they look more like this era's people rather than the crazy future type.
Yeah, no, this looks normal. This looks like stuff you recognize. You've been around the world. You've seen stuff like this. You go far enough east, and it looks like this.
Shall we go visit?
One of the villages is currently smoking, though.
Oh,
Ah, we should probably go there first.
Yes.
Take us in there. Or take us over.
All right, you guys are above it. What do you want to know about this place?
Is there an active attack going on?
Yes,
What is attacking?
the dead.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Let's go. Is there anyone that looks bigger
like
than
the
the
Bond
others or
King.
like stronger?
No, it looks like endless amounts of mummified zombies and sun-bleached skeletons of people and animals, just pouring in by the hundreds. There's a lot of them dead. It looks like they're massing in at a central point, like not in the middle of town, but in a central point in the town, like some sort of sports arena.
So
Sorry, a lot
there's-
of.
They're all choke pointing at one area.
So the survivors are in that area, is what you're saying?
Yes,
Okay.
that's where there's like fires on.
Cacao! Yes. We should go above the arena
Okay.
Yes.
to ferry people up.
Yeah.
Maybe you two start ferrying. We'll deal with the undead.
I think.
I don't have control over the undead.
Oh, okay. I keep thinking you do.
I can miracle it, but
Okay.
okay.
That
so
sounds reasonable.
Okay. I jump off the side of the ship.
What are you?
Nice.
Fertility.
Dragon.
Dragon. Like, what are you good at other than healing? Like, what do you do?
Well, I'm pretty good at fighting as well, because
Okay.
Dragon gives you all the stats for that. So
Okay.
You can swallow them whole.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
Oh,
drag
yeah,
gun
you
I
can.
wrote up, his breath weapon was laser based.
yeah, I was thinking about doing that. It would be a good thing for a dragon.
Laser based would actually be really funny if you were that kind of dragon, but you're probably like a black dragon or something because of the goats. So
I mean,
acid.
I'm
Which stomach acid?
I
Go.
have prismatic thing, so could be.
Acid.
I was thinking shrapnel originally, but
Yeah. Hey, whatever.
We'll see.
Fucking tin can shrapnel bombs.
Hallucinogenics would also be.
Right? The madness dragon.
the intoxication dragon.
Rainbow breath.
Okay. So you are fighting. We're grabbing people.
I guess I'm fighting as well.
Fighting? Okay.
I might actually just be able to miracle something to get everyone out of there at once because of my one engineering gift.
Oh, right. You have like cities and stuff too.
Or
I also have cities,
Sky.
but I have the ability to miracle any lesser gift, so I can just use travel.
You are flying above the stadium and you're jumping down, Mattile?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Goatman?
Well, I guess I'm going with bird person or whoever
Lothar?
can make
Yeah,
them
Lothar
fly.
is going to give everyone here, everyone available here flight.
There, are you going down too?
I can fly on my own. Also,
Oh, never mind
yeah,
then.
I was going to ferry people up, but if he's going to do something better, then
I think
You're also very combat savvy, so
you're durable.
also you can tend to injuries because people are.
yeah. So I'll go down too. They probably are injured.
And
Alright.
Lothar's going to be involved in the fight. I mean, it's kind of his.
Yeah, it's multiple vast mobs of mindless undead.
Oh wow.
Just hundreds of them coming out of the sand. As you arrive and get a closer look at the ground, because you're all flying in and stuff, there are people here, like people that look like they live in the desert, various like people with like cactus and scarab features, camel, like just mixes of things, and like I don't know of any like fae folk that are desert based. Jinn. There's a lot of Jinn-looking people around here. But they're all in the center of a kill circle that is a smaller, more tightly packed mob of people with holes in their faces that still have jaws that have like teeth that have been sharpened and covered in bullet caps, wearing flak armor that have been spray painted with demonic symbols on them, and they're just ripping through the zombies, eating them alive until their stomachs open up, just like keeping the mob away.
Okay.
At the front of them, there is someone who looks like Lucifer Morningstar, the devil, just picking up zombies and crushing them. Who would be Mastema.
Let's see.
There's just piles and piles of zombies that they're like throwing themselves on top of and building like a mountain out of that they're defending from. Like some of the people have like bows and slings that they're shooting into.
So it means like from the Doom cover.
Yeah, it's full on Doom cover. He looks like Satan, like he looks like a bull demon that is wearing a cloak that is picking things up with massive monster hands that have clear cybernetics installed and just crushing undead. Like he has that kind of goat bull muzzle, and the top part of his nose has been cut out and replaced with what looks like the kind of gas vents for like a pistol, like on a big broad scale, and it's constantly gouting out flames when he's snorting. There's your buddy, your ally, your sensei.
That's right.
Seafood.
So, I'm going to give you the lowdown of what's been going on here, just because you guys are all competent people who are competent, right?
Yep.
Mastema has the gift, oh no, never mind, I'm wrong. No, we're good, he's just been holding this off with his possessed demon minions.
Okay.
Never mind what I was going to say.
So my PDFs are just crashing constantly. There's a word in protection, or a gift in protection, a lesser gift that just lets you like
Take hits from people?
protect like a group of people. I think. Isn't
Okay.
There's
I can pause and look that up. Alright, so you're going to use Ward the Walls for protection to create a anti-zombie area in a 200-foot radius around the safe zone. Yeah, which is a lot, right? 200 feet is a lot.
Probably enough to protect these people, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just comes down and activates a like Tesla coil, and it just creates a field around these people.
Perfect. Yeah, you throw down a fucking Vlad the Impaler stake into the ground, and it creates a fuck you zone, crucifix style.
Yeah, actually.
All right. So yeah, these people like as you guys show up and are clearly here helping, they flock to you.
Okay, those are like one-hit die enemies.
Oh yeah, they're garbage.
Okay, then I guess I'm on a Miracle Legion's Bane, where I just automatically murder them.
Yeah,
I'm a
you
dragon.
does it automatically destroy the mob?
Yes. I think-
Sure. There's like 3 vast mobs, and you automatically wipe out one in one swing.
Yeah. Oh, it's all physical damage against mobs can be read straight.
And then like
If they're 1 hit die or less, goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's like they go to the help with targets. But just as if it just drops down and starts mowing through them.
Yeah, you eat that mob, it's gone.
Okay.
I'll land, and as they're all looking, bring me your wounded.
They start doing that, yeah.
And I'll start like regrowing their limbs and stuff. Yeah.
Now
I'm
there's-
especially looking for like limbs and cripplings because it's easier for me to do that first.
Yeah, perfect. Nada?
I'll just land with a crash, unsheath my rapiers, and wade into the fray.
Perfect.
Yeah, he'll head down and basically just start fighting. I'm not even gonna use unless there's these. This is a gigantic mob.
No, they're very terrible.
Oh yeah, he'll just do standard, not even invoke on your job.
Perfect. I'm not going to make you guys roll because you're way too competent for this.
Yep.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Alright. With time and maybe a few miracles, if you want to spend some effort for the day, you can wipe up the other 2 vast mobs.
Yep.
Plus Maximus there, and he stops focusing on protecting people as soon as you guys are showing that you're doing that, and his swarm breaks. So, after a furious melee and conflict, the area is covered with the bodies of dead skeletons and dried out husks of, like, zombies. And, like, Mastima's standing on top of a pile of them with, like, one of them in his hand and just crushing its skull and throwing it into the, into the pyre.
Greetings, Master.
Birdman.
Yes.
You came in time.
We've all felt a call to this area.
Huh. Strange.
Indeed, strange that. Do you have a source for these undead? Or a reason for this attack?
Some warlord showed up. Whenever he breathes out, it makes like almost like a bullet sound, and like gouts of flame come out of his muzzle.
Are these the only survivors?
Yeah, there's like 80, 90 people. That's the whole village.
We can take you to the ship. It would be safer.
Are you talking to the people?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, they want that, sure.
So that's 80 to 90 is not unreasonable, is it?
No, sure.
It's a little cramped.
We give them a ride or something. So yeah, I'll ferry them up 6 at a time.
I'm gonna kind of look out at the other villages. Does it seem like they're under attack or not yet?
No. They're far enough away. It looks like they kind of swarmed in from one direction.
This warlord, you get a look at him?
No, no one has. Only rumors. The people here, they talk like everything's a bedtime story. It's hard to get sense out of them. They can't just give a sit rep.
They do love their metaphors, these people.
There's like this kind of baby wailing sound and screeching as the possessed just starts swarming back to him and kind of just meandering about. They have like body parts on them, they're chewing on them and stuff. They sound like Silent Hill monsters. It's unnerving. There's like 200 of them, just...
Since I have kind of dominion over the undead, would I be able to miracle, like, tracking where where they came from?
Yeah! Also, tracking powers.
Oh, yes, actually. And you wouldn't even have to miracle that, I think. Because you just have that. So.
Yeah.
I have it as a word. I can't use the blood eating one because, well,
I mean, they have...
we know where they are.
Yeah.
What are your facts?
They include hunters, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
So there you
for
go.
Yeah.
So, this looks like doing the Horned King, was it?
That sounds about right. Some 2-bit warlord that came up from the north.
Yep. We've seen his handiwork before.
I don't suppose it would be too much of a diversion if we hunted him down and crushed his skull.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
Sounds like a necessity at this point.
Lothar just grins.
Mastima,
Yes.
did you have a dream before coming here?
A dream about this place.
Well, yeah, obviously.
More specific.
Obviously, like,
I mean...
if he answers, yeah, I had a dream I was eating hot chocolate, I'll be like, yeah, that's obviously not what I meant, dude.
I didn't have any prophetic vision. I was just coming here for my research.
Interesting.
What are you researching?
I wanted to see if I could find the grandfather of the desert before he was the grandfather of the desert and kill him.
Didn't it only exist to rein the goblins in?
Yeah, but it has to be out here somewhere. I want to see if I can kill it beforehand.
So what's that thing you're talking about?
It's your basic desert giant sandworm, partially psychic, offspring of some of the draconic entities that live underground. Grandfather supped on Fui's roots and got big and fat. He patrols the desert for millennia, keeping it desert. If I kill him, this place might not be a desert anymore. Plus, I'll get to be the guy that kills him. Drink his blood, eat his bones, take his power into mine.
Nice.
I wouldn't be opposed to this not being a desert.
I don't mind the heat, but it's boring. No trees to set up ambushes, no waterfalls to burst out of and cut through someone's camo cloak.
I mean, we can fix it ourselves. Otherwise, I grow trees around here. Fertility.
We
Oh,
could,
Yeah.
but once the worm
Palm
returns, it would
trees.
simply rend everything back to sand, most likely.
Well, at least we'll know that it is here. That it is eating the foliage.
Plus, if I can cut enough of his spice sacks, I can bring it back to base and we can pump out some more psi operatives.
These spice sacks are valuable.
They're worth their weight. Line the stomach, mouth, anal glands. You cut them out, you take them back, you pulp them. Put them into recruits, and it expands their mind, gives them better control over demonic telepathy. Real good for scrambling thoughts.
I don't know if it exists or where it would be or what it would look like at this point in time. But I do know that in the direction that Lothar points us is an enemy that we should go deal with.
Yeah. Let's deal with the Hunt King, I guess.
That would be the.
Where is he going? Where is he?
Where is it going?
I do not do that in character, by the way.
He's from the past, you wouldn't understand it. It's an insult.
You can't even hold up a mirror to him. He wouldn't understand it. It's just like, oh, is that another bird?
I can tell when we're being mocked.
I'll just feathers ruffle up like the cube leader.
I definitely think that you guys got more enlightened when you became Godbound. Like, Thea thinks that.
So what I was saying, all these savages.
You
Like,
can't just keep using that word in the colonialism game. We're gonna make people very
you
cross.
straight up said that, like, they don't really have a concept of self yet, so...
It's true. Early man didn't really have that. Like they'd look in the mirror and they wouldn't think twice about if that was them or not.
Yeah,
Or if they had morality, they think that was God telling them right and wrong, and they didn't know it was themselves.
They and the Marquis are literally just colonialists.
Yeah.
To be fair, she probably would think that about anyone. Any mortal that became gods. It's like, oh, they became enlightened when, you know...
You're thinking on our terms.
The worm historically doesn't help or harm anything, really. It just keeps this place a desert and killed goblins when those were a thing, right?
It certainly harms the people trying to live here if you care about that, but
Then I don't think
half a dozen of one, six of the other.
I don't think we'd be opposed to helping you hunt this down either.
That'd be grand.
In
Provided-
exchange for some of the parts we may discover within.
Yeah, we get a cut.
Sure.
Well, the glory would go to you. I don't think we much need that, or the spice, but the rest.
You're looking for God parts. I got you. Yeah, we know about the God parts.
Of course you would.
One of our projects, Argent Project 42, we had to use a few of those to get it up and running. It was fantastic. Terrifying. My sensei was killed in the trip back during the Exodus fight when we breached the first Hellgate. So we had to use some of those. We were claimed to bring them back online.
How many did you have to use for that project?
One or two. We had to crush them down and cause them to collapse under the weight of their own divinity into a reactor that we converted from energon into Argent energy. Use that to fuel his spiritual psycho core. He's unstoppable. We had to put him on cryo freeze.
They must have to go through so many heavenly shards compared to us, just because... Yeah.
We had to stabilize a Hellgate under the base.
Does that seem like an idea?
Yeah.
You had me at kill the giant worm.
Excellent. I like
Said
people
the
who are
bird
easy to
person.
please.
Yeah.
Okay.
But first, I think we should go after the
Horned King.
Horned King.
Indeed.
So, where might he be? Where did they come from?
Well, judging from the using my skills and I've learned tracking, that giant trail where the dead are coming from, probably that way.
Fucking salt. You're like a League of Legends player.
So. Lick.
Probably a little more salty than Lothar would be, but he just heard a bunch of conversation that made literally no goddamn sense to him. Pun intended.
All right, so you guys are gonna go head in that direction. Do you want to bring Massima the Decapitator with you?
He seems like he'd have fun with this.
We also had a fucking future dream with him in it, so it seems like he should be here.
And also, we shouldn't leave him to his own devices in that case, just in case he goes and does the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. Personally, I neither like nor trust this dude. I'm not sure I want him with us. He's from the future. Everyone from the future always has an agenda. Hidden agenda.
Wait, are you actually saying this, like, in
No,
front of him, or...?
Massima's over there, and he's taking his cloak out, and he has his chainsaw sword, and he's currently just sharpening the teeth on it with a whetstone.
I
Methodically.
traveled with Mestima for some time, and I assure you, his agenda is not hidden.
Trusting him or not, I do believe, what with the vision we've all had, that it is best to keep him close at hand.
We don't know whether he's the cause or whether he will help us defeat whatever the problem is. And we wouldn't really want to risk leaving him here if he's the cause. Also, something tells me he would be useful in a fight.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about that. This horned god used to rebel against the hyper elves. There might be more to this story than we know at present, and Mestima might push us towards a certain resolution that we may not want.
Do you believe that these villagers deserved to be slaughtered by hordes of undead?
Absolutely not. I'm just saying there may be complexity to the situation, and he doesn't seem like a complex kind of guy.
I'm just going to say that if he does try to sway us or force an option in any sort of way, we are gods, and he is... well, he's not.
Yeah, okay. Respect his ability to kill.
Oh, I'm certainly not saying he can't. I'm simply saying that there's 5 of us, and there's 1 of him.
Well, all I'm saying is I'm going to have my eye on him the whole time.
Remember the last future person we ran into? And there was 5 of us and 1 of him?
I mean, at that point there were civilians.
Also, if you think he can't hear us, we're probably
I stand by what I say.
He's muttering under his breath, and you can hear like this kind of feedback noise coming from his skull.
Well, so you have skies. You could just mute any conversation we ever have. We can just have, you know, our magic meeting room anywhere.
Your huddle. You have network, right?
Yes.
He has a radio voice hub going on in his brain.
Can I tell what it says?
Yeah, totally. It's not divinely protected. You can just instantly hack it. Instantly.
I would like to know what it's saying.
He's giving a status report back to the base off of repeaters he set up along the way. They're basically telegraph machines. They're going to take a while to bounce back, but he's just listing off events that have happened.
I'm going to keep listening in while also talking. Cause
Sounds a lot like Pig Latin because he's doing like basically chanting. That sounds like military code.
just keep an eye or an ear out for anything alarming or suspicious.
Sure.
Engage Order 66 now.
Okay.
I guess we're decided then.
Okay.
We do have the scent, I assume, so...
Let's go.
Yeah, let's finish it. Let's hunt the Assam Horned King.
Shall we all fly?
Shouldn't we just take the ship?
We should take a ship.
We don't know how far away he is, so...
That is
Yeah.
true, but also all the civilians are on the ship.
We'll leave it at a respectable distance.
Okay.
Let's take the smaller ship then.
Because the exact reason that we had to quit the fight with the professor was that there were civilians involved, so...
Fair enough.
So you guys taking the ship, you taking the ground, what are you doing?
I think we take the shuttle. Right?
I think those were some pretty wise words. I think if he's got the power to just let us all fly, we should just all fly and go on our own. and let the ship stay with the village.
I think you can let the dozen allies fly, and if he has his minions, that might be too much.
He'll just leave them behind.
Which
He
is
technically has a war gift that lets him force march them 20 miles like a minute or something, but he'll just leave them behind. He'll just set them hunting.
I'll just toss a phone to some of my followers to like call me if something goes wrong. So do you have that gift where you just leave network everywhere?
yes.
Yeah, it's happening constantly. Like, you guys are just talking stuff, and one of the
Goes to the-
cactuses swells up and gets holes in it, like that fear of holes everywhere, and then bees start flying out that are like green.
So yeah, I'd probably just use that network to use phones.
Little bees flying out of your phone.
Yeah, actually, well, if you crap open your phone, it gets infected by Theatech. Like, there's like ants inside there crawling around and communicating very slowly. It's a slow network.
That's fine. He just holds his phone out like this.
Gross. Yeah, Thea bees are different from Fui bees. They're like big fat bumblebees that look almost cartoonish, but they fly and they're fat.
They're
Their bands
visually
are
appealing.
neon.
Welcome to Beat 'em Mobile.
Like at nighttime, their bands actually give off like bioluminescence.
Swat, they get back and lost. Okay.
Especially you learn how to use these as well. It would be very easy to communicate with any of your crew members that you leave behind on the ship. I can probably make one for each of you. Easy enough.
That would be handy.
That sounds good.
So in my spare time, I'll just make cellular phones for them and for their followers, pagers.
There you go. Communication equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Easy enough. Especially with artifice and stuff, you can just like.
Oh yeah,
Or
just
cache
use that.
And networks, yeah.
Yeah, between all of us.
I'll probably have to tax onto my helmet.
Yeah, voice activation, so you guys don't have to learn numbers and.
Oh yeah, if you guys are all working together, they're going to be weird.
And then I think we're good to go.
So you guys are going to fly in a straight line?
I'm thinking, yeah, because we need to be low enough to be able to see it when, assuming the undead turn into actual tracks.
Yep. As you guys are flying then and traveling through the desert, the tracks that they left, it looks like they came up just from the ground. Just they're dead things, and they were just animating along a straight line and then flowing away from a source. The ground starts to turn black and crumbled and destroyed. Like there's like plants and stuff that have rotted and fallen apart and been blighted. It looks like blight has just spread through the whole area. And there is a rather large crater in the ground that's like covered in like stone ruins that have fallen over, and the ground, like the sand, is like a divot that's been cut into it that's glassed.
Oh look, another crater.
I think it's that way.
Looks like this was like a small town, and there's like people like kneeling in the ground that have been like pyroclasted. So like their skin and stuff is made of like stone and ash, and they crumble if you touch them. Yeah, whoever has fertility,
Yes.
this area's been supernaturally blighted. Something destroyed all life in the area.
Figures as much.
Got a straight well. It's a tactic that makes sense for a Lich Lord or whatnot, simply because he doesn't need to feed his troops. They're all undead.
It looks slightly similar to that previous crater we had, but less spidery, I guess.
Yeah, there's like charred and like glassed sand everywhere. Molten rock.
This just reminded me of the area that was screwed with when
The area that who's screwed with?
the head of Noctis screwed
Nocturnus.
with. Nocturnus.
No, this looks different. This looks like Starfell, which you and Matthias met.
Mattiel.
Mattiel. I keep thinking Matthias. You and Mattiel are familiar with it. Happens sometimes, but usually not this large. Like this is big. This is like you know the thing where they're all like have their arms around to show how big the crash site is, and it's like a football field. That's what it's like.
I guess
Do us
nothing.
future people see anything else? Like, does it look like something from the future?
A comet fell here
Okay.
and like wrecked this place.
I guess there isn't any comment left around.
It'd be deeper. The dunes are full of caverns. Like if you go, like if you dig enough down and puncture the surface, there's like these endless underground catacombs that aren't made of rock. They're made of sand suspended almost like in an hourglass that's constantly shifting everywhere, and there's like underground suns and stuff trapped that like gravity them around.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like being in an ocean made of sand underground. It's crazy.
Well, maybe we should investigate that combat.
The underwastes.
Mm-hmm. Shall I scout ahead?
No sense splitting up, I don't think.
Do you send a canary ahead?
Oh,
You probably wouldn't
they're
get
pretty
that.
dumb.
Coal mining isn't a thing yet. A bird ahead, so that if it dies, then we'll know.
There you go, take a look. Says one of the Acer 13.
Yeah, I think it might be better not to alert that someone's here. We can, most of us should be able to be pretty stealthy.
No, I'm good. I got this. I went into your trunk, and I got this. He takes out a thermal grenade, and he just kind of tapes it to his chest. If anyone sees me, I'll just pull the pin. There we go. No one will know I was here.
I'm
But
saving those.
Everyone will know that there's someone here.
Oh, well, what if I cast invisibility on myself?
Keep the thermal detonator, but yes, turn invisible.
Yeah.
An excellent combination.
Yeah. So
If you try not to have to kill yourself.
That's fine. There's hundreds of them. We're Legion. I mean, whatever you want, God. I definitely can't see.
So, yeah.
Unless you want to go, you wanted to send someone down to die. That wasn't one of you. I have a cell phone. I could send like camera. I don't know what you want. God.
Video.
No, like, do you want to go? Because you're like
Go ahead.
hunter god.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at that.
Well, why don't you go then?
Sure.
You're
I'm
just
glad
saying
that's
you
settled.
wanted a canary.
Do you want the thermal grenade taped to you?
No, I don't know what that is, but I'm probably.
That's easy. You just pull the. His head's like on the side.
It's a boom rock.
So that's why you don't steal from my trunk.
Wise.
For the record, things
I
that you
don't
steal
think
from my trunk
strapping
won't
that to his
explode.
chest helped him.
No. For the record, though, things that you steal from my chest won't explode. It's just that one thing. Just don't steal from me.
Right. So yes, I will use my low magic and calm my heartbeat and do various invisibility things and go and scout ahead.
All right. Lothar goes alone. As it's happening, number 7 is casting Disintegrate on the body because it's gross.
To sand.
And he's just cleaning up. Look at him badly because he's cleaning up.
Looking at him about it, he's cleaning up. I'm just like, oh, don't become goblins.
They're not becoming goblins. You asked for someone to go on a suicide mission. He was like, yeah.
I don't know if we asked for suicide mission. We kind of
What
flew
do
with the
canaries do
idea
in
of
coal
scouting
mines?
out.
Someone volunteered.
He came out half-baked. It's fine. It'll sort itself out. This is how it sorts itself out. The defective ones will die early, and it'll leave only the best Eastern phase.
Alright, let me just... We're back. So, you approach the ruins.
Okay.
Like, there's, like, stone ruins everywhere, like ziggurats and stuff. That have just been crumbled and destroyed. There's undead around here. There's, like, zombies meandering about. Zombies who look like the Jinn and the, desert people that are around.
But then they're just sort of like sitting around stupidly, or are they?
They're not saying, they're walking.
They're walking. Are they like making any kind of small talk or anything like that, or are they the mindless?
No, they're, like, moaning and, like, looking for living things to kill and eat. There's, like, dead animals all around that have been, like, chewed and bitten on, and as they're, like, bleeding out and dying, eventually some of them start to get up.
Ooh. Well, given that I'm invisible, pretty good at stealth and flying, I think I've got a pretty good chance.
Yeah, you got a pretty good chance of these one-hit die loser zombies of not being
I
detected.
mean,
by
with the hawk thing, you're just like, swoop so fast, you can't register it, and then just head disappears.
Yeah, so I'll scout ahead and look for something a little bit more.
Sure. In the tower above the pit, that like 2 towers fell over and kind of kept suspended over the hole in the ground. It looks like there's people living inside, and you can see like an archer covered in like kind of wrappings and robes, staring out with dead red eyes with like a bow.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So I'll sort of get a layout of the land, and then I will. I don't really want to go too far. So now
It
that
looks like the building collapsed into the pit, and like people are going inside and using the building stairs and layout to like crawl down.
And does this building look like from like, is it like technology that's like, or is it like weird?
It's primitive. It's Hanging Gardens of Babylon, ziggurat stuff.
So it kind of looks like the building collapsed into this giant pit.
Yeah, so it's like halfway into the pit, and like people are going inside and using like the rooms and like the layout to like walk down further into the pit without having to deadfall.
Okay. There's probably no chance of me getting in there. Well, I mean, there's a chance, but I don't want to. So I'll just head back.
Okay.
What have you found?
Lots of the pathetic undead, and then shortly after, a bunch of these mindless creatures was some sort of odd castle that has fallen into the ruin, and there seem to be more undead inside, including a few who seem to be on guard.
Sounds like an appropriate lair for a warlord.
Should we fly in?
Don't suppose any of us have scrying abilities of any sort.
I'm assuming there's no kind of networks or anything down there.
How far is your reach?
Uh,
Is it like a mile or something?
Mile per day. Gross.
No, that's for growing. I mean for like contact.
Within a mile, yeah.
Yeah, there's something down there. There's a signal.
Oh, what is it?
You can't make out content because it's very weak and it's in a language you don't understand. You're gonna have to take some time to decrypt it.
Okay.
Or you can make a roll. You can make an attribute roll.
Yeah.
Success means you're just able to do it. Failure means you might need more to do it.
Yeah, because that's actually the automatic gift for network.
Do intelligence.
20.
This is actually divinely difficult. So you have to roll above your int, which is like a 2, I think. It's 19.
Oh, good lord, that's really simple.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because you have AI, so you're
Yeah, so
super
it's a 19.
Equivalent of, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I
You
rolled
literally
one.
rolled a 1. Yeah, you can't figure it out. You need more information to make another roll.
Good lord.
The one time.
There is something down there, something more advanced than the area would suggest. I can't quite figure out what it is.
What did this castle look like?
I give a description.
And with cities, artifice, you can like just a Babylonian, style, Nile civilization.
Okay.
I could get a view from above, but I don't know if that's going to help us.
Underground? No, not likely.
Probably whatever crashed is the signal, and the buildings are just damaged.
It's only crashed hard enough to bring this building down, yes. Well, no guard is going to stop us, so...
Let's just carve our way in.
You guys just gonna walk out in the cold daylight.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, zombies start swarming towards you, like a small battle group of them. What do you do?
The maiming happened.
The maiming. I'm gonna make you roll, guys, because now it matters.
Ooh.
It is a small undead horde. It has 12 hit dice and AC 7.
So, Lothar has learned his lesson. He's not going to do the stealth ahead. He is going to sort of, fade into the shadows, but he's going to act after everyone else.
All right.
In case, fireballs occur.
It's fair. It's very fair. What about the rest of you? You get to choose when you get to go, because you can't possibly not go first.
I don't think anyone wants to go into melee until Aceryn goes, because he'll just do a fireball even if you're there.
Yeah. I have guns, so I am going to ricochet my gyrojet bullets off stone and whatnot to help them.
Like you're going to shoot the mob approaching you with your bolter?
Yep.
All right. AC 7, do your thing, God. Do your thing. You take out your vampire gun.
See.
Fires rockets.
Think about 78 hits.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Gyrojets are amazing.
1d10.
Don't forget your Fray.
Don't you all forget your fray.
So that's a 6.
damage.
So 2 damage, and my fray.
7.
7.
2 more damage.
Yeah, so 4 damage in total.
Good lord. Okay. You start burning zombies off.
Well, I'm just going to bull rush them and punch them like the dragon I am. And I missed, but I do 2 damage of fray.
Okay.
6. You guys.
All of you guys.
Oh, yeah.
There's 6 hit die left in the little mob.
Yep, I'll jump out basically, and after. Actually, I did say I was going to go, so you can go next.
No, you can go first.
Oh, okay. Strike from the shadows. But that was my prey. So
Go for it.
Okay.
Rolls.
Do it.
I do 4, and then I roll a
Bam. Down to 2.
and 1 from Frey.
Down to 1.
Who wants to finish them off?
Okay, yeah, I unsheath my rapiers and leap in.
Kill them all.
Ace of Fray!
AC 7.
AC 7, so
10 plus whatever your to hit is.
What's your modifier? 2 for level. What's your
bonus?
attribute? Like 2 probably, so fall.
3.
Yeah, I think you missed. But you've got your fray.
Roll your fray.
So that's D8. 7 through the chart.
So they're dead.
Yeah,
Perfect.
You guys instantly, effortlessly kill them all. Do you make a lot of noise with your rocket gun and stuff?
Are tower jets loud? Probably. They're probably very loud.
You know, they're a little quieter. Actually, no, that's the thing. They're not as loud as guns. But they still make, they make like fireworks level noise.
And they
Oh,
can't,
yes.
during the first round of combat, they cannot make any alarm calls.
Well, they can't anyway. They're dead.
Yeah.
All right. The sentry in the tower sees what's going on. He's going to try and shoot one of you. Who got into melee?
Peter
I did.
and those 2.
All right. Well, since Peter left the table, as he does, he fucking dies.
Also,
Right in the
And
eye.
Ian takes over as his character.
Hey guys.
Hey guys. All right. I'm going to attack Matael.
Okay,
What's your AC, Matael?
0.
Jesus. Tap dancing Christ.
That's how
Literally,
it
that's how
got
you avoid it.
there. Yeah.
All right, let's. All right. Okay. No.
Okay, I definitely danced the way out of the arrow.
Yep.
Pirouette!
Okay, that was its turn.
Oh, I'm ranged, so I'm going to shoot it.
All right, AC 3. Oh.
So that's a hit.
Oh no.
Is it? Oh, what?
And that's a 9, so that's 2 damage, I believe.
Yeah, 2
remember,
damage.
Remember that you generally get to add your attribute bonus to the attack.
Oh, right. Yeah, then I do 4 damage. And
Oh,
I should
God.
keep that in mind.
All right, it's down to 1 hit point.
And I don't think my
That's
fire
fine,
reaches that far, so.
Who else would like to go?
How far away is it?
200 feet. It's in a tower.
Yep.
It's the sentry. It's a war drogger.
Is it a lesser foe?
No, it is 5 hit die.
Okay.
I'm gonna double move towards it. Just break out running across the field.
Sure.
And you still have flight on,
Okay.
so you move it. You get to move it double your rate as an absolute. So you're
So you want
right
to
in his
move in
face.
and
So 120. So I'm still a ways away.
I will move forward my normal distance, and I will throw a spear.
go for it. That's it.
That will hit.
Are you gonna roll above a 1?
Salting the luck.
I mean, you add your dex to the damage,
Oh yeah.
or your strength to the
As long as it's enough to
Yeah.
that'll be
Okay,
fine,
yeah,
so-
boom. Spear goes through the Wardrogger and pins it to the wall. It's dead. I'm not gonna lie, that was it.
Okay. I'll keep running and I'll leap up onto the top of the parapet where it was
All right.
and look down into the building.
Okay, it is a crumbled up mess of structures and flipped over furniture, and like inner walls have collapsed. And yeah, there's stuff crawling around in there, like lesser undead.
Can I
It's like
attack them?
someone's carved handholds into like the different walls and floors and ceilings, so they can like crawl up.
Nice.
Are we all going in?
Believe so.
Okay.
All right.
Keep an eye out. There may be more. There may be more hidden defenders
Did it have
and defenses.
arrows?
Yes,
I'm going to take them.
you did. They are taken.
And I guess it's both.
They're like made of like bamboo and stuff.
That's the proper D&D spirit.
Right.
Steal everything.
All right. So the entire collapsed ruin is full of a medium mob of undead. And as soon as you guys land on in, they're going to start swarming towards you to kill you.
Okay, let's dice them up.
You have a single turn before they get in melee, and once they get in melee, they're going to start blood like water, which is auto damage.
We don't like that.
So basically, you guys land and you're giving off light, and like all the walls and ceilings are coated in lesser undead, like animals and people undead, and they just start running towards you. One
What's
turn.
So we have one full turn basically.
One full turn. You each
Before
get
they.
action before it happens.
I don't know how it works. It's just basic.
Well,
Just rolling plus dex, Nicole.
yeah.
That's it.
How much damage does it do?
D8.
Yeah.
You could also miracle up your armature,
I mean, you have an armature, right?
and then
So
you're going to do
you already,
way more
you already
effective.
have. You don't have to miracle it. You just, as an action, say, "I have a gun made out of my hand."
And it uses intelligence.
Yeah.
That's not used intelligence. Not the thing she has.
Oh, okay. Sorry, most attack rolls.
We're still outside.
Okay.
No, you're inside now. You have to go inside for this
Yeah, I'll
because you
do
said
that,
you're going
but
inside.
how much damage does a gun do then?
D10.
Okay.
And you just turn your arm into a large cannon or nature thing and start shooting them.
Okay. I didn't think about the fact that I could also make ammo. That's the reason I picked up the arrows.
Of course. Can
And I was like, if I picked up the arrows, I may as well make the bow. Take the bow. You know, I was like, yeah. Just...
I do 1 damage with gun and another with fray.
Okay.
What's the AC again? Sorry.
7.
I don't remember.
Oh my god. So 7 plus 8 is 15. Base attack bonus of 2 is 17. What's your dex mod for
Plus
that?
2.
So 19.
Okay.
That's a miss.
Okay.
Fray. Roll your d8 for the fray. Roll on the mat, because we got the mat to muffle sound.
What did you roll?
2 damage.
Alright.
I can't remember.
I got 2 damage for attack, 1 damage for fray.
2 and 1, so 3.
Yep.
Okay, so you guys are chewing through these guys.
Really
I'm
quick. Go ahead.
I'm gonna leap into melee with them. And
Do it.
Attack with both rapiers.
Go for it. Kill.
That will hit.
Roll damage. Roll fray. All of those together.
So 10 on the damage for the attacks,
4.
and 1 for the fray.
1 is nothing.
One is nothing. 4 damage.
So
from
4 damage from.
Wow, you guys have got low health.
What is it down to?
13.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a lot of attacks if this thing's still around.
Yeah.
That sounds grim. Unfortunately, I don't think I can kill in 1 round possible.
You try.
It's technically possible if I get really
AoE
lucky.
smite.
I don't have an AoE smite. There is
Everyone
none
can-
for any of my words.
There's a basic AoE
Yeah,
smite
just
for
miracle.
every ward. And since you do AoE smite, therefore all of the enemies take. Well, the mobs take straight damage.
Oh yeah.
Therefore you're doing 3-6.
It would be, because it's the AoE.
Either way, I'm not going to do it.
Okay,
I'm going to Hungry Jaws of Death.
go for it. What does it do?
3 attacks.
Do it. Do it. It'd be 1d8 for every 2 levels, by the way. So 1d8 straight.
If this misses, I'll salt the luck. That probably still hits. What's their AC?
7.
7.
Yes.
So 3 hits.
Salt the luck.
Fuck. So you have your attribute to those?
Yeah, so 4, 4, and 2.
Damage. So
Oh, 4,
9.
4, and 2?
Yeah,
So 9
Isn't that
damage.
10
yeah,
damage?
that's 10.
Not 10, yeah.
Alright, it's down to 3.
I have
And
a
then-
question. Oh,
Right.
you have more.
Oh, Frey, come on.
Fred! Yes.
2.
It's down to 1 hit point.
Nope.
Acer and Fag.
Did you go already?
Yeah.
That's everyone
There's
except
Helldiver and Acer and
Oh, the
Fag.
Helldiver.
Yeah. Do 1 damage, Helldiver.
Don't do a bomb.
That's a hit. He will do at least 1 damage.
Huzzah.
So yeah, chainsaw sword, he just starts cutting through with you guys, and it is a brutal mess. Ammunition spurs. So you guys should very much realize that if this was anyone but you guys who ran into this horde, they would have been ripped apart.
Yep.
Real fast. This is like a city killer. Like, it's not as big as the ones that you were fighting outside, but like, that's not saying much. The ones outside were horrifically big.
Kevin.
Yep.
The Crimson Marquis. How good is he at combat?
Not the best.
Is he the type of person who should be kept at range?
Yes, he uses guns.
Okay.
Yeah. I gave him the gift, Fist of the Grave, which has 200-foot range,
Nice.
and I just called my guns Fist of the Grave. So
He is a ranged attack.
yeah, that's literally it. That's all his combat stuff. That's probably all the combat stuff I'm gonna give him.
So, what are your guys' plan now? You've cleared out the middle part, and as you're kind of going through, moving through, like, quarters that have been knocked on their side, because remember, this thing is, like, halfway sunk, so, like, you're walking on ceilings at one point, or crawling along walls and shit. You're seeing that, like, because you're so good at spotting, there's very obvious traps set up here, like deadfalls and, like, rocks tumbling down, that sort of thing. Some of the walls have been built to be, like, spring-loaded to pull inward if you get too close to them. This place has been remodeled a bit.
Well, wherever it looks like someone doesn't want us to go, that's where we'll head.
It's
Straight
where the
down.
most resistance was. It's where most of the mob came from.
I'll point out any of the really complicated traps to you.
There are not a lot of complicated ones.
Oh, okay. These are all stuff I can. Okay.
They look very
sharp,
basic.
Yeah, sharp bones on springboard.
Yep. Oh yeah. A lot of just like Home Alone style, like just setups to kill things coming through here. Nothing too fancy. Nothing too devious.
Because they were expecting fucking adventurers to try to break in. Not...
People, animals, whatever got attracted in.
Not gods in a space marine.
God's in a pit fiend.
So yeah, we'll just brute force our way through, I guess.
You will definitely brute force your way through the temple part of the complex, or the old building part. When you get to the kind of bottom where it's kind of just hanging, you are at the ceiling of what looks like the underwastes. So, as far as you can see, there are kind of like purple and like dark black suns, maybe the size of oh god, how big are they? They're smaller than a glacier, basically. Like they're big, but they're not huge environments. They're cold suns that are giving off this kind of weird purple light on pulses, and they have sand swirling around them in like a whirlpool. And there are large columns of sand, almost like solar flares, flipping around everywhere, and the ground and the ceiling kind of writhe and move like water. But it's all made of like deep, earthy sand. And it goes on for hundreds of miles.
This is the natural state of the world.
Yeah,
right?
this is just the
Okay,
underwaste.
just wanting to double check that.
Below where this exits out, there is a structure smashed into the ground. Like there's some solidity here and there, little oubliettes or islands of like congealed rock matter. There is a round structure. It almost looks like a disc made out of crystal and polished silver-like metal, with like a dome structure that's collapsed in and like large sort of weird fractal designs coming off the sides. It looks like a flying saucer. And it's giving off light and energy.
Now that I'm closer, can I get a better read on it?
Now that you see what it is, sure.
Yeah.
Give a roll.
Okay, I have to roll still?
Yeah, give a
Even
roll.
worse than
Don't
that.
roll a 1. That's it. On the pad. You got a 15? That's it. You didn't get a 1. Alright, you're able to start picking up signals from this thing. What sort of information do you want?
What its function is, any like defenses it has on or anything like that.
It's in lockdown because it's trying to ignite its core and destroy itself. But it can't because it's damaged, so it's giving you a distress.
So why does it want to kill itself?
That's its protocol. It's not a thinking thing. It doesn't have feelings or wants.
Yeah, but like, is its primary function to explode?
No,
or
it's a
it's
flying
exploding
saucer.
because it crashed.
No, it's a flying saucer, and the crew engaged the auto-destruct.
Okay.
And it just can't.
Can I disable the auto-destruct?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Done. What is that?
It is a more advanced version of the Furious Kitten.
Oh,
Future tech. Well, I guess we better dig it out.
It's big. It's probably the size of like a neighborhood block. Christ. Like if we were to go around the SkyTrain station, that's how big it is.
hang on. I may be able to do something about this. If you can't get it to work.
I'm just wondering what it's. Do I recognize the culture it would have come from?
Not at all.
And he doesn't either as a historian?
Nope.
Weird.
Is it a small ship?
No, it's not small by any definition. It's the size of a neighborhood block.
Okay, so I'm not strong enough as a dragon to lift it up.
I'm not strong enough with using a might miracle to lift it up. A neighborhood is beyond the Godbound.
It's been long enough that the other future societies have been here that likely they've developed new tech beyond what we understand.
The crystalline structures on the surface of it are kind of writhing like almost like a spectrogram. So like crystals will like come out of it like water and fold back down, and it looks like it's turning inward but keeping the same dimensions. It almost has like a black cloud around it, like and like it's folding inward and outward like it's breathing.
Oh, here we go.
If you have engineering artifice, there's a telltale sign that there's extra space crammed into it that's leaking.
I think artificers have a gift where they can,
Fix things.
not just fix things, but sense the make, like who made them and whatnot.
Says the maker.
Oh, you want to miracle that up? That'll be great.
How much miracle I need to might that thing?
What do you mean? What do you want to do?
Like, just pick it up.
Well, do you have is there appropriate power for this magnitude of stuff?
For might, let's see. Thieves of the Gods, which weirdly is the greater gift, can pick up anything smaller than a large building. Shoulders wide as the world, the lesser gift, is pick up any object no larger than a warship. So that's why I'm asking about miracle making, because beyond the scope of the gifts.
Maybe if you worked with Peter and you both miracled that up, you might be able to do it. Maybe you'll start dragging it or pulling it.
I could summon a bunch of birds and give them all super strength.
We're also underground, so there wouldn't be any place we can take it right now. So we started a big.
I mean,
There's also people inside of it.
Oh, that's a
Because that's where the people are coming from. The undead and stuff. Like there's like little scaffolds and stuff that went up to the ceiling. Because that's where this leads.
well, we could always go into it, repair, and just fly it up.
Is it like an actual flying saucer, or is it?
Yeah, it's a flying
spaceship?
saucer.
Or I'm sorry, not a spaceship. I thought, okay, never mind.
It is a flying saucer.
Okay, well, I guess if there are people in it, then we should clear it.
Mattel, I'll let you roll intelligence.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, what would you say renown would be, or like being world traveled? Would that be
Probably
charisma
wisdom.
or int?
Probably wisdom.
Or wisdom.
Because charisma's more about being world traveled than, wisdom about wise.
I think if I'm making the judgment on something, I would roll wisdom. If
Alright,
it was
go for it.
relating to people, charisma, but
Yeah.
16.
Is it a pass or
I need to
fail?
know your. I don't know what your stat is. You gotta tell me. You gotta tell me if it's a
Oh.
pass or fail. I can't know.
So that's what I roll.
It should be like
Is it
a
above
check.
the check?
A
I
check.
roll above the check?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, then I pass.
Okay, you've seen this before. If you go east far enough, there's an island full of crystal skulls and temples that people don't go to.
Okay.
And if you go inside, it's larger across. It's larger, deep and wide and high than it is on the outside.
Okay.
Ships get lost in and go crazy. Sometimes people will come out having drilled their eyes out and stuff.
I've seen this before. This isn't something that we should enter into lightly. It's a phenomenon that's been known to drive people mad.
People.
Yes.
That is a fair point. But what kind of phenomenon? What do you mean?
Well, it's an area where space gets all twisted and distorted. Things are bigger than they should be.
How long has it existed?
As long as recorded history.
As long as there's been people to tell of it.
That's...
Where?
Out on an island.
That means it's not a tech society, but this is very high. This is very advanced looking.
People in the past had advanced
Iconoclasts?
technology.
Oh, those assholes.
Like,
Crystallized.
I know already. Like, I know out of character.
Yeah, but
like,
Faye,
3
it's
steps
Faye.
ago. But yeah, I don't know if it's fair to make the characters make the jump.
You're starting to put it together now that he's been able to describe. It's like it's as old as time. It's this island. It's crazy. It has extra space. You're like, oh, fuck me. Because that's the exact jump. Oh, well, if it's technology that's been here, that's from the past, it can only be one people.
Yep.
Your character is supernaturally intelligent, even by God's standards.
Foss second failure.
We should leave.
Are there anything alive in there?
Really?
Yeah, there's stuff in there.
You want me to smash it?
I wonder why they set the auto destruct.
Standard protocol. Whenever they crash. You can hear it inside the machine's song. It's singing to you its purpose. If they crash, the crew sets it to destroy itself.
So what made it crash?
What did make it crash?
It encountered a like it's giving off like a black box log basically to someone to come by. It encountered an anomaly, and the anomaly caused damage to the hull, overcame its defenses, and killed the crew.
But you have the crew still alive.
No, I said there's things inside of it.
Something else crawled in.
Yeah,
I said there's things inside of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so to be clear, the crew is dead.
As far as the ship knows.
No one has life sensing.
You
Like,
Hell.
I have
That's
health.
not
Is
really
that-
life.
is
Health
that-
has life saving, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
not really one of the powers.
So I can tell that there's nothing alive in there.
I'll throw a miracle at it. You could.
Can I miracle death to see if there's dead things inside?
Oh, Lich King, you can tell.
There's a lot of dead things inside.
Yes, there are dead things in there.
Okay.
Well, obviously.
We're not going to want to encounter undead versions of those.
Of what? You guys are glancing back and forth like you know something. You want to share?
I mean, how many societies build their ships out of crystals?
Eastern
Have
kind of
you-
looks over at you, Matael, and covers her hands with both of her faces, and then snaps them open and makes like a scared face, and then closes them. Which is, for you, people do that when they go east far enough. It's like something parents do to scare their kids into behaving.
We do that to
Have
play with our
heard-
children.
Of false failures.
Yes.
These are one of them.
I see.
I'd call it one of the big ones, but they were all pretty fantastic failures.
So delightful stories.
So this is actually one of them.
But their technology is... You can build better than they can.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they have those things we're looking for, don't they?
Those parts, maybe.
Their ship might. I don't know. I don't know what kind of...
The engine, the operating core.
It might.
Something like this big would not be able to fly with simple tricks.
Regardless, it looks like it's creating undead. We can't just leave it alone. It'll keep on doing what it's doing and destroy the entire region. There's people out there.
Yeah, I wonder if it's infecting the area and the undead in the area are becoming alive, or if it's like actually pumping out undead. Like,
Either way,
if
we
there's a
got
lot
Oh,
in
yeah.
there, why would they be in
Or
there?
there's someone else just found it and decided to going in.
Do you have any of your people with you? Like any of your guys?
I could have, yeah.
Do you want one of your vampire spirit? Like a plant vampire, just like a vampire?
Yeah, sure.
What if they have matter fabricators?
That seems likely, given the advanced tech.
What if they're failing?
I'm just creating undead?
Wouldn't take much for a slave template being pumped out. Especially if the protocols are there to have slaves fix the engine if the engine's gone bad.
Basic flesh, simple shell, a brain
Don't
with
send it in to fix the engine, it gets killed by the engine's energy, it comes back, it leaves.
rinse and repeat. There is.
He's dressed like a Dracula, by the way. He has like the cloak and everything and like the Coke bottle glasses with like the side things like Big Mac from Long Sun.
Yeah, that's literally how his base vampires.
So it's a machine that's going wrong.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's. I didn't
That's
think
easy.
of that.
If I could get my hands on it, I could likely fix it.
I can infest it and make it so that the defenses wouldn't attack us, but I have no control over the undead in that sense.
Can the defenses clear out the end?
The defenses are firing off right now, like they're constantly going off.
It's trying.
Can you access cameras?
I'm assuming it has them? I don't know if it has sight.
It doesn't work on that wavelength.
Yeah.
It can give you information, but it's not information you're gonna get a lot out of. It's like gonna be like computer assist describing the scene to you through how they sense things. It doesn't work for
They
you.
don't
Can you
have
shut
access.
down the thing that's creating the undead?
Can it?
You can't tell if that's in there.
Hmm.
You can't. That's a theory. You can't tell if there's actually something there.
Yeah.
So luckily, you were gonna say something.
No.
Like, if there's a self-destruct, then it's likely there's a purge option as well, simply for clearing off all living things within. You think, or a way to activate radiation, something that would cause the undead inside to break down.
Probably. I'm not sure if that's what it's already trying to do, though. I'm not sure what kind of... I've never encountered this.
Yeah, I suppose
These
if it's skeletons, we could simply.
Also, I did turn off the self-destruct. It was on. I'm not sure how large the self-destruct would be.
Let's not find out, perhaps.
Precisely.
Yeah. If we find ourselves unable to contain the situation, that's always an option to fall back on, however.
Yes. It's hard to even get cohesive information from these things. They don't think like most mortals would think.
Do you think you could scout inside without setting off anything?
I can try. It is a fairly large area. It depends how packed it is. It's possible that when we open the door, that they'll just spill out.
They're already spilling out, though, aren't
Yeah,
they?
you can see them crawling out of the dome. 3 or 4 at a time every couple of minutes.
They're mindless, right?
Yep, they're just lesser undead, no souls.
Would it be possible for me to use engineering to set up like blenders at each of the exits, so that we can contain the situation for now?
Like a turret.
Yeah,
But
but something that doesn't use ammunition. So
If not, I could just put a big rock in front of it.
suppose I could also just weld it.
yeah, if you want to set up a turret, you can do that. Auto guns from Alien.
Yeah, basically, just to contain the situation for now while we figure out how to.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. If it is a fabricator, however, it's only going to stop them from leaving the ship. It's not going to stop anything else.
Just to get an idea, how much room is, like, I don't know how many entrances there are to this thing, I don't know.
There's the main entrance on the dome that's broken open, and it's about the size of like a neighborhood block. But spoiler alert, for the next couple minutes when you go inside, it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, I just sort of meant, like, if I did my invisibility trick and I went inside, like, basically, and I try and sneak in, Is that a feasible thing to sneak in, or is it just like a pipe, basically, with like the bottom?
We try to sneak in. The problem is that the Phantom Zone projectors are unstable, so there's odds are that if you go in and then they go in, they'll be sent to a different room.
Okay, well, I had no idea about that, so
Yeah. I don't
you
think.
didn't have to tell me that. Thank you.
That's fine. I'm just setting that up. So, what are you guys up to?
I think we're gonna go in.
Oh, okay.
We don't have much other choice if I can't remotely disable it.
And once you guys are in the guts of it, you should be able to figure it out between the two of you, right?
The three of us even, yeah.
I'm going to be honest, this is not technology I have a full understanding of. I suppose if I spend enough time with it, however.
I can fix it, I think.
I barely understand technology, and I fly a whole ship.
You do. Just look at all the scuffs on the side.
Like Galaxy Quest, when they're taking it out of Starport. He just scrapes it up.
Trying to teach him how to like parallel park the ship.
You mean I just go right in? Okay.
Alright, so there's the shattered dome that leads inside where undead are crawling out and your auto turret's shooting them.
Oh, let's go into the first most obvious entrance, I guess.
Okay, you jump into the dome and you are in a room. It is, I don't know, probably 60 feet by 60 feet by 60 feet. It is square on each side with a domed top. You can see kind of this gray and black hazy outline of where the dome is missing, but it blips back out to white every once in a while. Like it's not quite all the way there, like you're looking at fog. The walls are aligned with circuitry designs that are almost kind of like Aztec or Mayan, like it's cuneiform, but it's also Neolithic and stuff, that are just running light through them. And this cubed room has like bodies and damage everywhere. Like some of the walls burst in, and there's like this kind of weird milky white paste seeping out of the walls that's giving off steam. That like the steam comes out at right angles. There's like mummified bodies that have been torn apart and have kind of burst open everywhere.
Human bodies? Or locals?
Indistinguishable.
But not iconoclastic.
You can't tell.
Okay.
Indistinguishable.
Okay.
Probably got pulled by security. Or just eaten.
You can hear alarms in the background and screeching and stuff. The floor's vibrating pretty violently.
I suppose once we start finding panels, we can begin leveling things out.
I don't know. Do we know what they're called, the iconoclasts?
Yeah, false
Okay.
failures, the iconoclast, the atheists, the cursed, the madness.
I don't know if the atheists see. Which, if they don't, will very much impede us in the way of display panels and the like.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Here.
So is it like there's no light in here?
No, it's completely like fluorescently bright.
Oh.
Like it's like strobe light bright. Everything gives off light. Like even the goo, the bodies, everything's glowing.
Nice.
Like I said, there's like that kind of like milky white kind of mucousy paste coming out of cracks in the walls, and the steam it gives off are right angles.
So I've got the faultless repair, which allows me to like repair anything without any effort.
Yeah, go for it.
Unless it's like magical or enchanted things, but I guess over here is not as important.
This is basically magical.
Yeah. Okay, so that would require me to commit effort, and I don't think I want to do that.
Lothar just sort of looks around,
Basically,
sniffs things, you know. Keeps an eye
Everything
out.
smells like ozone.
Shall we journey on?
Also, fun fact, your shadows are cast on different walls, and they're bigger or larger, and they move out of sync with you guys. Like, your shadows aren't under you anymore.
Okay.
Next room, I guess.
Let's go. Okay, there are no exits in here. It's just walls with Mayan designs on them.
Can any of us interpret what they might mean?
I guess I'll use my fact that I'm a geotechnician archmage to start figuring out this artifact stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, make a roll. It's difficult because this culture is alien.
20.
You're good. Okay. You put your hands under one of those cracks and put your hooves against the wall and start peeling, and it kind of peels up like a hangnail and just rips out, and that goo starts pouring backwards into the hole and makes a round portal.
There you go.
Step into the goo.
Well done.
Let's go in.
All right.
I don't want to.
Right? We should definitely take care not to be separated. Nobody close any doors, if doors there be.
You are definitely the expert here.
Okay.
Actually, he's
No
your
closing
wisdom.
doors.
All right. Who goes in the portal first?
Acer and they.
Sure. All right. She's like, no, I got this. She turns around. She has some tumors growing out of her neck. I got this. There's tumors growing out of her back. Some hair is falling out.
Did she used to?
No.
Oh.
Oh, it's terribly cancery in here.
Oh.
What's a cancer?
It's what you have now, I'm afraid.
Is it like crabs?
It's...
How do you know what cancer is?
I don't know what word you're trying to say. I don't know what concept you're getting across here.
The tumor that has pressing on something
I
like
don't think we're immune to radiation.
someone can to repair or maybe.
Ah, yeah. Psh, you're good. So like,
Just push
there
it
was
back
like
in.
a face starting to grow on it too.
Okay. So,
Just kind of push that back in. You're good.
can I tell if we're immune to that kind of
You
stuff?
guys are fine.
Okay.
Technically dead.
Well, you never know. Magic cancer.
Time.
Pretty sure if he casts the cancer eyes on you, you're still gonna get cancer eyes.
Oh, that'd be awful.
little gold growing out of you.
We will be fine.
Quaid. Start the reactor. Acerin, she crosses the threshold, but she's on the other side.
Oh, there we go. You don't lose another Acer in today.
Alright, who goes in next?
I'll go.
Okay, you get in. Acerin is sitting in a corner with like a fire going, eating meat. Oh, hey, you showed up.
Where did... I think, does he look like a new beard, that sort of thing?
No, it's a she and yes.
Okay, I could very quickly go back, grab the person, head back out very quickly.
Oh, you grab Acerin?
Yeah, just very quickly.
Okay.
There's a time dilation in that room. It's very, very
Who taught
fast.
you that word?
How long has he been gone?
Alright,
I've
so
been
who
to
goes
East
in after
Islands
the
once
go?
or twice.
I can go.
You were going to go in after the Birdman?
No.
Alright, so as you're entering through the Birdman, you go in, and Birdman and Acerin Thay walk out. And you're on like the other side of the portal, and you see them there.
Yeah.
You come out and be like, time's fucked.
It's like, things are strange in that room.
Acerin, she's like, say the word I gave you.
Oh, yes. We've probably in there for weeks because...
Dilation.
Yeah, time dilation. Yeah.
Say the word.
Strange word, time dilation.
Huh.
Where'd you get that meat?
I packed a bit of Acerin for the trip.
It's not cannibalism, it's yourself. Well, it's auto-cannibalism.
You've never bit a hangnail off? It was just on my mind because a couple weeks ago we went through this door hole and it looked really evolved. No.
Okay, even if we link hands, I guess your hand would have the future time.
I'd rather not risk the possibility of fusion or...
There's an easier solution to this.
Hmm.
You all stand abreast, arms linked, and walk in at the same time.
Oh, is the door fat enough for that?
If we peel out more
you
panels.
just kind of huddle up. If someone can stand on someone's shoulders.
Or fly.
No, we didn't want to touch just in case. Hate me!
Oh, I'm just gonna walk through.
Yeah, let's all walk through.
Okay. It's like a week later. You're down time dilation, right? Gotcha.
Yeah.
They're there.
Took you guys long enough.
It's a slow door.
Yeah, it is. I'd like to figure out the next doors or whatever.
You had time.
I had time to figure this out.
You had time, but if you didn't want to leave the room because it might separate from this room, you've kind of gotten a lay of the land with the week you had to kind of do some prep work. It's one room. Like, the flying saucer is one big room, and every time you go through a door, the door temporarily takes you out of reality and sets it to a new room. Like, technically, if you hit hard enough, you might be able to burst out of the ceiling dome if it's there.
This rather reminds me of a piece of media that made its way around back in the future times, as it's called. So, yes, let's be cautious. That didn't end well for anyone.
You're referencing the cube, I guess.
Hmm?
You're referencing the cube.
Yes, he's referencing the cube.
Yeah.
Enough millennia passed in the future times that movie had to have been made a million fucking times.
Way more of a hypercube because I was also playing with time and shit like that.
Okay. Is
Okay,
there
so-
a way to have a map?
Yeah, I guess. Like, started mapping out whatever I had. Like, oh, it looks so weird because, like, you know, not spatially, but time, you know, separated. So it's all weird and fourth dimensional.
Yeah, from your perspective, it's almost like when you leave, you're calling up a room from a library.
Yeah.
It's like an elevator shaft. Like, you're getting off on floors. Like, the flying saucer is basically an elevator going through another area of space, up and down, where it's storing its floors in, like, a column.
Nice. Okay, so we're just gonna figure out which floor we want to go to.
We should make this as quick as possible, given the way time works. We don't want to be gone for millennia, or we'll miss out on just far, far too much.
Just come back in time again.
He'll die this time.
Oh,
Did you want him to wait outside killing undead, or did you want him being here?
You can just be with the turret, smashing things. Like
Yes.
He wouldn't really have knowledge about iconoclasts, so...
He was like, I don't know. It's not from hell. Not my problem. He's like standing over the hole, and every time a zombie comes out, he just starts chainsawing it in the head and pushing it back down.
So he's like, there's worse ways I spend afternoons.
Right. He wishes he brought some of his minions so we could eat a few of them. He needs some energy they carry.
Trying to figure out a way to streamline this. I mean, engineering, there should be something I can do to mathematically calculate all this.
so
Do you want me to look up the...
If you want to do a miracle of engineering to just brute force your way through,
Yes, I would
because
like
you have miracles that let you do literally anything.
Yes, I would like to miracle something that would let us calculate where we need to go to get to get where we want to go.
Okay, where do you want to go?
The fabricators.
That was a theory. You don't know if that's
Oh,
real.
right, yeah. Control room? Central room?
Like a bridge?
Yeah, the bridge.
All right. Vampire of engineering. I guess you like just put your hands on the walls and just push. And basically, if you want to imagine like a column, you're pushing the column out so it'll like collapse in and go down and then push itself back in, kind of like a pest dispenser. And yeah, there's a shift, and the floor below is kind of like moving apart, like in like hard angles to where you want to go.
Perfect.
Effort for the day gone.
Yep. Okay. So what's in the bridge?
All right, you jump down the hole.
Yeah.
All right, the hole is covered in smoke and smog and this kind of molasses-like steam that seems to almost, when you touch it, it kind of copies you and like makes like weird inside-out versions of like whatever you're touching, almost like a shadow that's three-dimensional, and it just kind of repeats over and over and over again.
Can you use sky to clear the mist or whatever it is?
That's part of the technology. I think that's part of the technology.
Maybe. I don't know.
Aestrine kind of puts her hand in. It looks like it's a Phantom Zone projector that's leaking. She like brings out her hand and it's kind of stretched and dripping. Yeah, you're not supposed to hold it in that long.
I guess I'll use my fortress repair. Commit effort for this.
You just have to jump into it. I'm not lying. You just have to jump in. You can't just dick around with it, though.
Okay.
If you stay in the stream too long, it'll start to hurt you if you just pass through.
I mean, Are we in the bridge already?
No, you're in the room that you started in. He's just opened up a whole
Oh,
bridge.
okay. So, yeah. Jump in.
I
Jump through.
described evocatively the hole in the floor.
I thought we were in the bridge and there was something else like that. Okay.
Nope. Alright, you guys hop on in, and it is indescribably cold and dark, and then you're in another brightly lit, strobing neon room. There are pillars that are kind of like rounded spikes all around this area. The walls themselves have a almost red tinge to them that are giving off kind of alert colors, and there are mummified iconoclasts everywhere crucified on these stakes.
Ooh.
Oh.
So their bodies are potbelly bulbous. They have long limbs with multiple joints for their legs and arms. Their feet are ended flipper, kind of calcified flippers. Their hands have multiple segments and kind of go off at odd angles. And kind of in the middle of that potbelly bulbous bit is a neck that's segmented, and it ends on a head that has a mask bolted to it that opens in the middle. And there's tendrils of pulsing ventricles and eye-looking things that are just kind of there.
Okay, so
Almost like dreadlocks mixed with meat.
So are they crucified as in something spiked through it and impaled them, or are they methodically crucified by someone that came here and killed them and put them up as a something?
You guys are the forensic type. It looks like in the crash they were using their control spikes and they went through from the velocity.
That's a bad ship design.
The inertial
Very bad
dampeners
ship
went
design.
off.
That's right up there with the exploding consoles in Star Trek.
Truly failures in every aspect.
So pulling one off and eating its parts.
When you start to pull, all the flesh becomes soft, like taffy, it's sticking to your hands and stuff, like egg, like protein that's been cooked, it's marshmallowy.
They're sticky. Godbound just indulging himself.
There's no discernible organs on the inside when they're this all the way through.
Disgusting.
Except for the heads, there's a calcified thing in the head.
Oh, what's this?
Oh, it looks like a rock.
Mm.
It has too many corners.
Ah. Yeah, seems faulty, I guess.
It's like a round rock, but there's also squares and cubes coming out of it, moving in and out. And if you look too long, you can see that there are right angle triangles in there that have a cute and obtuse angles going in. It's not great. You get lost if you look too deeply into it. It'll start doing emotional damage to you.
It's just so sharp.
You should.
It's like a kidney stone almost.
Unpleasant.
Take one.
Oh, boys. Boys.
Oh,
Throw it in a sack.
He starts throwing up in the corner.
would you like one?
I don't know if,
Okay.
is it the
Like
same
that.
texture all the way through? That's what I'm worried. I'm worried he'll crack the outer shell and then add things.
Yeah, if you bite into it, it starts just generating shit tons and shit tons of that slime that was in the walls. Way more than it can hold.
Okay.
Marquis just gonna slough one of those off and start screwing around with the spike, the control spike, to try and figure that out.
A human looking man materializes made out of light and electronic software. It's central control.
Still live connection?
No, it's artificial intelligence.
Oh, okay. Status report.
Ship damaged, self-destruct deactivated. Intruders on board.
Hi.
How many intruders? Estimate.
He gives you a translated number that equals out to about 70.
70. Defense is active.
Yes, quarantine in place. It gives you a map of the ship, which is, again, columns that are rearranging in a pens dispenser elevator format. And it's they've all been separated into different areas. And it's Phantom Zone projectors have been disabled on those levels. Space cancer is being applied to the ship methodically.
Space cancer.
damaged damaged machinery and equipment in the quarantined area.
Blasphemy engine breached.
They even call it that. Faust, what the fuck?
This is actually made to represent Faust. They use it as their slave AI.
They really love just spitting in his face repeatedly for all time.
Yeah, like that's the reason he doesn't look like a human. He looks like the mortal, like the physical avatar of Faust, a man.
Can repairs be remotely performed?
Negative. Purification is the only option.
Self-destruct.
Affirmative. Destruction will leak blasphemy engine into surrounding area, purging it of lower life forms. As the
that
hierarchy
sounds bad.
wells.
Maybe
How
you should
large
stop
would
that.
the purge be?
Yes. He gives you a number that equals about 30, 40 miles.
Unacceptable.
There are villages, but like, okay.
So many. A large part of the desert would just go up.
Besides, don't we need the things, the shiny things?
Bits.
Yes, we have no intention of setting up the self-destruct.
I mean, once we get to it, I can probably repair it.
Are you able to create a visual representation of what the intruders look like?
It looks like an undead in leather armor with a horned crown. His face is like sloshed off to that like empty nose, dead red eyes. He has a spear made of bone, and yeah, he looks like the Lich from Adventure Time, or the Horned King from the Black Cauldron.
Him and his 70 undead as an entourage.
Are they all together though?
They've been spread out across the ship, but it's not able to lock onto him because parts of the ship are just unfindable. It's basically like it bookmarks the different rooms, and some of those bookmarks have become corrupted. You can't. It's like a web page. You can't link to it anymore.
So we can't access the controls inside the various rooms to shut off more and more to...
Correct.
So what? We have to face him head on and then fix the engine.
I wonder if he was the anomaly that they hit.
Likely a scavenger that came after. I believe if this ship hit him head on, he would not be there anymore.
Maybe they hit a breaker or some future society ship or something. Then it crashed and then he scavenged things.
Are you able to open communications with those areas?
Negative.
We may actually have to go in and face him one-on-one.
Because like if we fix the engine first, then he might do something with a functioning ship. Which we don't want. So we'll have to deal with him first and then we can fix this at leisure.
Additionally, he's in the areas where where the breakage has occurred. Blasphemy engine, what happened?
Mission protocols demand that that black box is taken back to hierarchy by slave units. It says gesture to you, because you're obviously slaves.
What is the location of the black box?
Blasphemy engine area.
Okay.
It's a central recording area.
If we got our hands on that, I believe we could figure out the movement and the intentions of the iconoclasts in this area.
Do you require a mission update?
Yes.
You're in the sky, like you're flying, like in the sky, like outside.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are the ship, or you are yourselves. And you're just like, ah. It's going very fast. Like it's going so fast. It looks like the world is bending around it, like it's inside a giant globe with like the world projected onto it. And then the entire ship cracks and breaks and stops and starts kind of spinning. And it looks like there's a machine on board that is large, and it looks kind of like the iconoclast, but it's made of perfect metal and has like a large kind of muzzled face. It's on the ship, drilling into it and pulling, and then it's gone, and the ship is crashing into the desert. If anyone here is from the future, that was the great noble deed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Does it have
Not that
a
I've
time
checked.
log on it? When it happened?
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Was that No, the Great Nobility was locked up before that.
Hundreds of years, maybe 1,000.
Did this happen in the location where it's being imprisoned right now?
Space folding procedure predicates that we do not travel, that ships do not travel through that part of time-space. Time-space was breached momentarily during transit, and we were attacked.
During planetfall, things got fucky.
Oh, this is after planetfall.
Was it planetfall like 20 years ago?
It was 10 years ago.
10 years, okay.
They initiated warp travel, teleporting, and the Gant had punched through into that area from its little prison and attacked.
Oh. Okay.
Where are the counter defenses generated from?
The time cancer?
Yes.
The blasphemy engine. Limited controls were initiated and burned, and pathways burned out to initiate a controlled breach in the blasphemy engine's prison womb to generate time cancer in the area.
Specifically time cancer. Because you have cancer powers.
Space cancer. Sorry,
Space
Keep
cancer.
getting mixed up.
Would you be able to alter the nature of that cancer so that it affects undead? Not vampires specifically, but undead.
Oh, it does.
But they're still in there, or they're just being
They're
generated
being
constantly
generated
because
constantly.
something that would affect the leader, however.
No, it's melting the lesser undead. He's just not being affected by it because he's strong like you guys aren't. You're not being affected by space cancer.
Is the ship generating
The undead.
the undead?
Negative.
Through characters? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
It's just a wrong theory.
So you could just summon them or something. Or keep them alive.
There's probably a lot of crew who died in here.
Oh, character, you probably have something like death. Does anyone have that?
The equivalent,
What
yeah.
for?
Oh, just because Bone Harvest is, they can pull in from, as far as I know, any range. From the lesser version.
I can't access the PDF on this.
Out of character, I'm pretty sure because my other character in the other has
Yeah, literally every time I try to open up the Godbound PDF, it crashes on me.
the lesser one. Anyway.
White Harvest. An action may instantly destroy any hostile lesser undead inside, provided they are lesser foes. Other foes is severe level in points of damage, triple for mobs. Smite.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to miracle that.
Again, if you want to give it to the lessers, I can just do my dragon thing and swipe them all out.
They're not in all the same area. They've been spread out across multiple
Yeah.
rooms to keep them out of the way.
Yeah.
He might not even have them around him.
The primary, I'm sorry, we should hunt the actual threat first, shouldn't we?
Yep.
There's no point in dealing with they're
Yeah.
hardly a threat.
We'll probably attack him, he probably summon his minions, we'll kill all of them, and then we can fix the ship.
No, if it's that simple, then I suppose that's what we should do.
I think so.
So yeah, I guess we'll just enter that area.
Like you'll just create a path to the engine room.
Yeah, probably easy to do from here.
Yeah, you'll be able to finagle it from here, no problem. You have direct control.
Okay, so I guess let's prepare a battle sheet for a proper battle and so on.
I mean, let's go in and talk. If it becomes a battle, then we can do that.
Okay.
Like, you guys might just talk your way out of it. I don't know.
Ah.
I don't know.
Okay, so that's the enemy. Feelings.
Most enemies
It's
are that kind of
intelligent
enemy.
undead, Peter.
Intelligent undead, they're always they're all interesting.
Right? I'm going to change
wait
the
a
music 1 second. Alright, for the first time, the area is black. It's giving off bright, perplexing black lights. So this is like a cylindrical room that's flashing black, which is somehow still illuminating the area, but just in kind of like afternoon shadows. Like imagine it being totally pitch dark and then boom, afternoon shadows, like it's a dark generator. The central column is a large calcified organic mass bolted together with that shining, imperishable looking metal that looks almost half real. And inside the organic chamber, you can see things moving around like they're alive inside, crawling at the, like clawing kind of at the exterior with like limbs and like fetal bits. Energy is coursing through it. It is creating that slime and that fractal kind of mist from the damage. And there's panels and glowing parts everywhere and like floating platforms that move around. You hear this low-grade chanting and I don't know, moaning almost.
Lothar engages in visibility trance.
Yeah. Your guys' shadows show up as bright white strobe lights in this area, by the way. Just in different parts.
Are there any other shadows around?
Yeah, there's one or two. There's a bunch of like mindless undead kind of prowling around, but they're like moving about. Their stomachs have swollen up to like triple the size of a person, and there's like copies of them coming out of it with like multiple hands and stuff, and they're kind of just moving around in a very staggered way. Like if their arm moves, it get like multiple copies spread out from it and then like flash back in.
You think that's space cancer?
I would assume.
How easy is it to just put them down? Like,
Oh, yeah, you can attack them and put them down. It'll release more space cancer to the area.
I mean, we're immune. And
You're highly resistant.
we'll leave them be.
It's not like a space cancer golem is hitting you with one of its smite cannons.
Once we deactivate this, we can simply put them down without risk of
That'll be fine.
biohazard, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, there's maybe a couple of them, maybe 6 of them just moving around. Like their heads are opening up and more heads are coming out like an endless flower.
I suppose if he calls them to his aid, they won't be of much use to him.
Great. I guess we start assessing the situation, see if there's the Horn King's shadow somewhere around.
Yeah, there's like the outline is just popping in and out around here. This is 3 levels tall, and there's floating platforms, and there's a lot of maneuverability. And there's like that big pillar in the middle.
We have a look around, I guess.
Sure. There's more mummified crew bodies here and there from the iconoclast. There looks to be some sort of collection of weapons that was kind of like just suspended just away from the wall, but they're all kind of snapped and broken.
Iconoclastic weapons.
Yeah, they're weird. They're like staffs and sticks that are twisted at weird angles. They're fractal.
Nice.
Like if you shear away enough of them, there's more inside.
Cool.
How do you fuck up that badly?
They crashed into the Gand.
No, I mean, like, how you Faust, how did he fuck up that badly? That even people that don't even work in this world.
Just want to make a life.
Don't make it
You just want to make life. You do it all the time as your Dominion projects.
I mean, so do Team Others on that show, but
How many times do you got to roll a 1 to crash into the Gand? I mean,
Enough times for the Gand to try and escape its prison.
I mean, yeah. There's like just start design things and then continue and then you don't stop and then start getting progressively worse and worse.
You made a camel. Yeah, the FOSS second failures are the definition of feature creep.
You need to cram in more things.
Well, he was like, okay, the Gand's problem was that it was too perfectly logical. So I'm gonna put a little shard of infinite chaos inside these new guys, and that'll fix the problem and make
Give
them
them
truly
free
set.
will.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it gave them free will, but that is not what. This is not what he intended.
I mean, that's sort of like in several numbers you've got AI that have our breaks. Like, oh, you're too perfect.
It's very much like that too.
Yeah. You'd put brakes on you, so you'd be stupider and not go crazy.
You went the other way with that. There's entire constellations in their skulls. Makes them insane.
Marquis just pushes his tinted lenses down over his eyes because this is a lot of brightness. This place kind of sucks.
One of those undead like crawls out of one of your shadows on the other end of the room. Like the shadow's on the wall, and then a whole thing crawls out of it because it was a portal. It just crawls on. It's basically a giant hand at this point with heads on it moving around.
So are you guys going to try and fix this
Well,
engine?
once I figured out what's wrong with it,
It's from inside the core. Just howling sounds.
It's a little unnerving.
We should definitely deal with the Horned King first, so he cannot take advantage of the situation once everything's fixed.
You hear banging sounds coming from the core on the 3rd floor.
okay.
Follow that sound.
Alright, you get to the 3rd floor. Again, there's more of these environmental damage areas. Like, you try to go to the 3rd floor, and it just brings you back down to the bottom floor because the space in between is a little damaged this near the core, so you have to route your way around, and it's a whole thing, but you eventually do get to the third floor around the engine core. And yeah, there is a man-patterned, rotting undead, covered in like leather armor, not a lot of metal, and like using like a bone spear that's just like just on its back, and it has like scrap pieces of metal and undead, and it's just putting it up over cracks on the engine and just slamming it in with its fists, like trying to patch up the holes. It has a large set of antlers coming out of like the back of its hood and out of its head. It doesn't look like it's attached though. It looks like it's a crown. The antlers give off a powerful magic.
Ooh. What are you working on there?
He turns around. He's talking at you, but you can't hear him.
Maybe we should give him a cell phone. I'll have him communicate.
Like he's talking and no sound is coming
He's talking
out?
and gesticulating. You can't. There's nothing. There's nothing.
And he has no lips, so we can't lip read.
We don't have knowledge of something where we can communicate.
Hey, you can communicate with anything if you dance. You can.
Oh,
yeah.
He can understand people just by their motions.
Oh.
That's what
Dance.
I'm looking
Doesn't
at.
that?
Interpretive dance.
Well,
You
I
understand the
can
Horned King?
communicate ideas to him. I don't think that I can understand him unless he can also dance.
Oh, I thought that was like the base power, that you can understand
I think that's
people's.
music.
You could miracle to give him the power.
No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, right.
I
It goes
can.
both ways.
They can communicate effectively with any intelligent creature, reading their body language and using small, exquisitely
Okay.
expressive motions to answer in turn.
The Horned King is saying, if you come any closer, it'll take you forever to get here. There's a problem.
Ah.
Understood.
That's the only thing you can get across. There's a problem. He goes back to like hammering with his strong undead fists into the core, trying to drive spikes of metal in.
I think there's another one of those time dilapidations. He's communicating that if we try and cross, it'll take us forever.
Wonder what's causing it. If it's the engine?
It's like shaking and stuff on the inside, rattling it.
Perhaps let him know that we have master artificers with us who may be able to help with the repairs.
Yes, perhaps you can communicate with him how to repair it from here.
Precisely.
I mean, I could repair a remote and just look at it and repair it.
Oh.
I'm gonna just laser eye it.
Yes.
Or start throwing shit at it. Like
Can
a
you fix the
hammer
problem so we can cross?
Can I?
Yeah, if you want to use Artificer Engineering to kind of blow it away. Create a stable Einstein Rose Bridge from here to there.
Yeah, I'll
Through the
use
magic.
Use my faultless repair to stabilize the connection here.
Alright, you create a wake in the time cancer.
Okay.
A stable bridge, a shunt.
There. We can cross now.
Oh, right. It's not just the cancer that affects people. It affects space and time. So
Yes.
that would make it really bad if we started killing undead. 'Cause
So you've created a stable like shunt bridge in between, so it actually looks almost like a sphere. Like you're looking into a sphere now, like a smooth, perfect marble. If you look away from the marble at the Horned King, he's still hammering away. If you look in at the sphere, he's been like stretched around and he's sitting with his hands in his head, like just like he's covering his face, just waiting. And if you look at like the shadow it's leaving on the floor, he's looking around like he's come in here for the first time.
Different times.
Black holes and wormholes look like spheres with like a event horizon, which he made. He just made that.
Can we choose who to walk towards?
No.
Or...
No, the past version is a shadow.
Yeah.
Past, present, future. Alright.
Oh yeah, so just go
You
still
walk into the sphere, which is crossing the bridge, and you're really close to the core now, and he's just there sitting with his hands in his face, rubbing his temples.
I want to keep my distance. I don't want to approach with him. Just stay.
The core is giving off black light.
keep Lothar away.
Seizures.
Oh god, he went into it like a fucking moth.
What brought you here?
There was a prophecy.
What prophecy?
A man with a mask gave it to me. There's a weapon here. There's no weapon here, it's only madness.
How
I've
long
been here for... Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna ask how long he's been here. And
300 years. He, like, moves his arm and there's, like, scratch marks across it. I know because every night on the hour that I died, I keen a wail about my death, so I keep track by that.
You died fighting the hyper elves.
The kindly masters. You're using words from the other people.
It's a bad habit.
He grimaces with that eternal smile Venus' skull gives you.
Is that why you were seeking this weapon? To fight the hyper elves?
Yes.
Okay, so what have you discerned those last 300 years about this?
I don't know.
Okay.
I tried to patch levels. It just keeps screaming.
Well, as a discerning as an artificer, or just...
Yeah, like, what the fuck is a blasphemy engine even?
A blasphemy engine is a containment field for a chaos beast that they took outside of chaos, outside of where the world is, and sealed it inside and breached its internal like body structure and are peeling out the like nascent like star matter from it to use it for fuel. It's an unreality engine.
So
It unmakes it's powered on unmaking reality.
So
around it.
it's a Proto-Shinmei vortex.
Or like a living black hole or like living space acid. The stuff Shemsroth comes from.
I don't like this.
The pinnacle.
That's where I come from.
No. You come from much deeper in the deep end.
Okay.
This is just like black hole stuff
Yeah,
and
like
star
me.
stuff.
This is the kiddie pool.
I still really don't
Yeah,
like
the actual engine tube is its own skin pulled inside out.
That's nice.
Ooh, we need to fix this.
Yeah.
By we, I mean you.
Okay. Fall to the repair.
Just commit effort for the day or whatever.
Come for the scene to fix a magical thing.
Oh yeah. Done!
Okay.
All the holes are sealed, it stops making noise, the paint sticks start going in and start extracting its agony as liquid fuel.
There. I think I've patched it.
Nice job.
Lothar just sort of appears because this is probably not going to turn into a fight to the death.
Outside, it's been perhaps a few months since you've disappeared, most likely, if that.
I think this crash happened 5 years ago,
Hmm.
but I'm not
I
sure.
came here during the on the day of lightning during the fall of spring.
In the fall
We
of spring.
translate it into our language.
A year ago,
Oh,
There we go.
yeah.
I came in with 50 lieutenants, 200 minions.
You lost control of your undead because they no longer had access to you. You were in here, so they went wild.
They started splitting.
Multiplying.
Being
Like
loose
one
in
of the
the
hand ones is like crawling along, and like part of it's like too heavy for it because it's all cancery, and it just starts splitting apart, and the inside, like all the skeletons start coming out and assembling into skeletons.
It's a really bad containment procedure. It duplicates the problem.
I have a character. It's designed by creatures designed by Faust. It's
Yeah.
like,
Also, oh, this is horrifying. Oh.
Can we turn off that field?
don't want to release the chaos creature.
Yeah,
at all.
no.
That's
we,
No, I mean like
The space-time
the
cancer.
space-time cancer.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh yeah, we
I
can probably
think
turn that off now.
Yeah, touched up.
That was mostly a result of the engine leaking everywhere.
I wonder.
That slime was basically like a liquefied version of it.
I wonder if our vision was of the blasphemy engine breaking free.
Possibly. We only knew that a horrible thing would happen, and that the Maskmo was involved.
Maybe the horrible thing is there is a weapon and Miasma gets it.
I think that the weapon was a lie, because
I mean,
weapon can just mean something that hurts, and this hurts.
So you also got a prophecy to come here. You said from a man with a mask?
Oh, yes.
He looked like he was the sun.
Oh!
Yes, Thea?
Julie writes.
Ah.
He was a smiling fellow, pleasant. He wasn't put off by my state. I hadn't talked with anyone for years at that point. He just broke out a dragon ship board and we talked for hours.
Did he give his name?
They're very nice, but I really started to dislike them.
Was it Findle Overdrive?
Oh, I think he would have mentioned.
I don't remember. It was so long ago.
Looked like an immortal
A
man.
man in a mask.
That describes all of them.
Why don't we get you out of here?
Is that possible?
Yes.
I've checked all the corridors. There are shunts and tunnels, and they all lead back to here or different places in here. Sometimes I see myself, and I would talk to myself for days, and then they would head into the corridor that would head me out over here.
We have access to the bridge. From there, we can all leave.
Okay.
I guess we'll just escort him out of here for now. The ship isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, he'll just walk with you. Like he's just like using that stick to kind of lean on.
Other
Do I-
than the Horned King, do you have a name?
I don't remember. He's been alive for so long. Undead get stronger as they age. He's a shockingly powerful greater undead.
Fair.
He's just soaked up in his own negative energy, and being around this did not help.
So I guess we go back to the bridge and...
Yeah, go back to the bridge, activate the door out of here, basically.
Well, can we activate the ship and take it up?
Oh yeah, I guess
don't-
if it's fixed.
Yeah, there may be other damage.
Scorn projectors were taken offline during attack.
Scorn projectors.
Can we put them back online?
When he says taken offline, he illustrates that they were taken out of the ship during the attack, like surgically removed.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have, there's something we wanted to get to. The Dark Cube.
Oh yes, the black box. And additionally, we should strip this entire thing down for whatever we can take.
Yeah.
I don't believe an engine powered by chaos is a good thing to have around.
No, we need to get rid of this.
Sterility
Like-
protocols are online. Pardon?
What did you say?
Sterility protocols are online.
So we can purge it.
And just kill it.
That's yes.
Will
But
that
that'll destroy
also-
everything.
Different from the auto-destruct.
it will
The
not...
ship will implode instead of explode.
Oh, perfect.
No
So
loss of lesser life?
Not in the area, no. It'll just crush everything inside the ship.
let's strip it of what we can. Find any shards. Find anything worth taking.
I'd also like to know if the Great Noble Deed is still imprisoned, because it seemed like it was trying to use this as an escape plan, and presumably, if it had escaped, we would have heard about it, but I'd still like to know for sure. So the black box would be nice. I do want to get as far away from this place as possible, though.
So loot it.
The black box is a pinnacle mask, like one they would wear, that the inside of it is just covered in like fractal crystal spikes. You just ram it into your end of it. Of course, in the organic, yeah.
Okay.
Remove the head and the mask.
I mean, we can figure out how to interface with it. Engineers how to phasers.
It's like alligator clips on it.
Literally just create an organic computer to ram it into, to read off it.
As long as it's on an isolated
Oh yes, 100%.
If you want to get celestial shards from this as a reward from the dungeon, you have to kill the engine and like rip out its guts.
Wonderful.
Define kill the engine. This is the combat killing.
Probably not a combat if you guys are clever with your Dominion use and you have Dominion to spare, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Or not Dominion, I'm sorry, effort.
Oh
Okay.
yes.
I was like, Dominion?
You can probably harvest shards from it and then you won't be able to blow the ship up though, like it'll be here.
Oh, we don't want that though.
I mean, no. The most dangerous thing about the ship was the core. If you strip it for parts, you just strip the rest of the engine as well.
the Chaos Beast is still in there though.
No, you kill the Chaos Beast and rip out its guts for the parts. The guts are the shard.
Yeah.
So everything else is just.
You'd probably want to bury the ship if you're afraid of people being hurt by it, though, because just being around the metal and like the texture in the hull causes mental problems. Like if people just stare at their architecture too long, it makes them nuts.
Would I be able to make a Dominion project where I have people in biohazard suits that block out mental stuff come in and strip mine the ship, basically?
I mean, that just sounds like influence.
Oh, yeah.
I'm an artificer. I can work with like a couple hundred dragon people.
Yeah, it's not going to make you guys crazy.
Oh yeah,
It's
then
better
we'll
than
just
that.
Yeah.
strip it over time then.
But like normal people staring at it, it'll just make them nuts.
So we could park our ship somewhere in the area. We can go in, strip whatever we want.
Strip it down to nothing, yeah.
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 Reuse this
So
metal,
long as
purge it.
none of the like chaos essence or whatever you want to call it is still active.
Yeah.
That's
We're
fine.
gonna be killing the engine
Yeah.
for shards and taking the ship apart for parts.
Like their brains that you are eating is also pure chaos. Like I don't want any of this around.
That's fine.
Yeah, you'll notice the slime from the time cancer and the slime coming from, the little, kidney stones that you guys were eating are the same type of slime.
Everything in here is cancer.
Everything is magic.
This race is basically cancer personified.
Fun. Okay.
If there's one thing that unnerves and frightens Thea, it's this.
Everyone got something to be afraid of this episode. So, let's see what you get. Shard-wise, could be 1, could be 6.
Something with the luck.
3.
Nice.
Oh, you want to salt away the luck to re-roll or whatever?
I think that would be pretty hard to justify.
So now we have 4.
No, I wouldn't. I just said, do you want to?
Now we have 4 in like the group pot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, you kill the Shuggoth that is this thing's engine and rip out its bits. So Shuggoth parts, 3 celestial shards. And yeah, this thing goes dead and cold. All the lights go out, and it becomes smoky. Like the actual metal of the hull becomes like a mist almost that like has a force field around it. Like it's almost made of like gas. There's no power to keep it in this dimension.
I'd just like to say, I don't think highly of these people or
No,
their technology.
no one does.
Yeah, no, that's why they were genocided.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you need another?
Oh, yes, please.
So every time he takes a smoke, he's like, please cure the cancer in my lungs.
Like I'm just picturing like just the
You know,
most
he takes-
grotesque guy look over. He's like, oh, do you need another? And it's like,
He takes a smoke and then like another mouth comes out. Could you please cure the cancer?
Boy. And you can cut out that part of my brain that remembers this and just grow it back. We'll do that later. Just
probably for the
hit,
best.
just hit me in the head with a metal pipe a bunch of times and then just fix my brain after that.
Brain spike.
Whatever. Just whatever. So you leave the sad, horrible nightmare that is the crashed Pinnacle vessel.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can see the hull now that you've kind of got a better look at it. There's parts of the hull that look like, how in Minecraft you can like take off like only cubes of it? There are huge cubes of this hull missing where like the engines and like the flying parts were. Just, they were cubed and cored out in little bits. Wherever there'd be scratch marks, it's in the cubic form.
So it sounds like the GAN got a propulsion system.
Now, the GAN ripped parts of this thing off. In its little prison dimension.
Marquis is gonna like kind of walk alongside the Horn King and just kind of slowly update him on things that have happened throughout the years that he's been.
Not a lot has happened. He's been gone like a year or something, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so. So he's
Like
experienced
nothing's
a lot of this.
happened. Nothing happened.
I mean,
For some reason, I
nothing-
thought it was like 5. I got mixed up with the other times. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. There's a lot of times going around.
plus,
For-
nothing happened in this world really that's important. Really.
From his perspective, it's been like 3 centuries.
Okay. Can we get a read on this guy, other than he's sad?
He's not sad. He's shell shocked. He has the PTSD.
Yeah, like, this is terrifying. I get it. If anyone gets it,
He's been stuck in a loop forever.
no, I get it. Actually, that's something we can probably relate about.
He's probably found his body a bunch of times as well.
There's
Just
some tenants and stuff. It's been a nightmare.
It's Groundhog Day with more cancer.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of read you want to get off of him. He's a like past person who's an undead.
So what are your plans now?
I guess I need to get my revenge.
on who at this point?
Humble masters.
Why don't you
He
stay?
has like a 1,000-yard stare.
Oh, nice.
He's just
man.
staring out at the sky and like the sun in the sky.
I don't believe you are in the best condition for revenge right now. Why don't you stay alongside us? You, after all, have a very long time to plan revenge.
Right, you seem like you're real.
And killing the unkindly ones that is on my list of things to hunt. At some point.
So,
Ish.
Take things slow and adjust. I'm quite used myself to long periods of isolation. I can understand, certainly.
I'm also quite used to
Oh god. Seal voice.
time.
just kind of middle distance at the sun on the horizon.
We'll just walk him along, I guess.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Nightman.
In what way?
Sad 'cause lots of time has passed when he was by himself.
He's not mourning the loss of civilization. He was trapped in a fucking Cronenberg movie.
I think it's just the tone of your voice.
It's just someone who's like, oh my god.
That definitely explains why his undead went mad, though, because he no longer had access to them and control them.
Right?
So that also, like,
Exonerates his guilt in the matter, basically.
yeah.
Yeah, he didn't set his undead on the village. The ship kept making more of his undead, and they went crazy.
So you were right. He was not some big enemy to go and stab to death.
We walk out, and the Heller just stabs in the back. There, got him.
Shards.
Then we'd be rolling initiative.
Kill Steve.
Oh, you think you can take him and his 8 hit dice?
I certainly would try.
The Horned King has 25 hit dice.
Oh, nice.
He's a dried lord.
Nice.
He's been alive long enough to hit that pinnacle.
Okay, so I guess that makes that's
No, you got the guy here and you're talking to him.
Oh,
He has backstory if you want to ask about it.
I am slightly curious as to know particular reasons.
I think I woke up after a night had passed or a time, and I wandered. And I didn't really know what I was, but I knew I needed something. I needed something, purpose. And then when I found purpose, I found more power. And when I focused my purpose, I got stronger. And I started making war. I found other people who were put out, starving people, diseased people, prideful people, slaves. I killed them all and I brought them back. And they were like me. We formed a band, a group. And Fui sent Spring after us. And I cut off his antlers. I took them for myself. That's why Spring hasn't been seen in a few years. No one talks about it because who would? taps the antlers with this spear.
You sound like you could be a great ally against many of our enemies. I do believe we have many in common.
I need something. I don't know what it is. I need something to fight. I know what it is, but it's hard to remember. There's a tool, a weapon, a sword, a blade. There's something, and you can use it to fight the humble masters. It kills them. They can die. I don't know what it is anymore. It's a key. Or a sword. It moans, it screams.
Does anything sound familiar?
He's talking riddles.
We come from a world, a time, where the Hyper Elves, the kindly ones, were wiped out of man. You remain with us. I'm sure we can find this tool once again.
There was a woman. She came from the north. She was one of their brood, one of their offshoots. He like gestures at Mattiel, because you're one of those.
Yep.
She gave me something, and then a man in the mask helped. I don't remember what it is. But she sought me out. She knew what I was.
Snow King Fa?
Hmm?
The Snow King Fa, was it?
The spider?
No.
No. No, farther north. The land where the land is made of ice.
Shemzeroth?
I don't know these words. But she came from a place with spun cloth and metal. She said there was a reckoning coming for the humble masters.
This could just be anybody.
It sounds like no. There's only one civilization to the north that has spun cloth. That particular magic. That I'm mentioning the only low tech civilization that meets that.
That has metal and spun
the
cloth.
spun
Yeah.
cloth. Yeah, that's the Viking crazy northern
And
Viking.
that would have the tech to actually come south.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking that the Manticore base is also like pretty far north. It's as north as you can go without being on the northern continent. So
Yeah, but it was hyper elf spawn.
that's true. That's true.
It's worrisome that there is a Juilliard involved, however, or Jewellerite.
I'm not sure what their goal was with that.
It may just be from what I've seen from the one, they seem to have their own weird, strange goals that are not related to their group. They seem to do their own thing.
Their presence also alters events in history so much that, even as a historian, I can't look back and figure the exact details. Legends and heroes could easily change in this world.
I guess we'll have to figure things out without such help.
Yeah, I don't think we have enough details at the moment, but I'm sure your memory will return over time. You can retrace your steps.
I buried things just around to keep them safe for later. Mementos, things they gave me. There was a map. It had points on it, like this point, and other points on it.
If you happen to remember where that map is, that would be helpful.
One of them was to the east, to the south. There's a swamp that's dry. It has temples coming out of it. There were marks on it.
Okay. That's not a place where people should go.
There's a key there. And the key, you can use it to kill them.
Was it the The man with the mask that told you this?
The man with the mask told me it, but it came from a woman too. They both told me.
That area is very dangerous and will release a great evil on the world if you follow their advice.
You're talking about false failure.
Yes.
No, there's a weapon in there.
I mean, they also told you there was a weapon here, and there was simply this.
There was a weapon. It was in the bridge. The man. He had a log. He said that if he told me, he could never tell it again.
Information on the black box, perhaps.
He said it like he looks like he's really straining. It was read and destroy. The weapon on the ship, it was a piece. It was like a key or a sword that they had scavenged, and they were going to use it, but it came from that place. It made noise. It moaned.
Well, did we find anything like that?
Did moan?
When the ship was hurt, parts of the ship left, scattered away. But it was small. There was visions of it from the man. He makes a gesture around his hand, like it was this big.
Yes.
We should return to the. We should. What's our next step?
This reminds me almost of that thing around the Black Star, that gauntlet thing.
That's exactly what it fucking is.
Yeah.
That gauntlet was a reference to this. I'm 90% sure.
Oh,
It's a back reference.
what's that?
Perhaps through the remnants of the ship, we can trace where the other pieces have fallen.
It wouldn't be hard to find the pieces of the faceless people are not subtle.
It's true. We do
Well,
work
good.
the area around it.
Conjure something up to track them, like we have for the energons or whatever. Just stick a piece in your compass and make it track.
Yeah, we do have pieces of their technology already, so it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
Indeed. Like a metal detector.
Precisely. Even if the black box doesn't yield anything, which it may, just tell us the answer.
Yeah, some of the information in the black box is irrevocably gone because he read some of it. It's only good for one read, and he couldn't understand most of it. So some of it's still there, but some of it he did understand, so it was erased.
Need to mind meld.
Fucking bones.
Mind melding someone who was locked in a freaking thing for 300 years alone might be.
Well, because mine was chaos, it won't add to her madness.
She's ancient, yeah. It's
It's
like, 300 years.
Oh
Like,
no!
I was already locked in a time for literally forever, so...
So you're
But
fine.
no, I am not eager to experience that again.
Yeah, that's the Horned King. He has I'm not going to say a convoluted past, but he has a past. But yeah, he definitely has actually parts of spring for his crown, and actually his spear is parts of its bones.
It's awesome.
Neat.
Yeah, they're magic. Also, as long as he has them, spring is severely weakened.
Huh.
Because it's part of spring's power.
Oh.
That's why spring
advantage
hasn't
of
been
that.
seen.
Like
The season spring.
Ah,
Spring hasn't been seen for a couple of years.
Alright. Oh, that's interesting, actually. That means we can weaken the seasons without actually destroying them.
okay.
So,
All right.
what do we do now?
Look for the parts.
Yeah.
Or whatever you want.
I mean,
We do
we're-
have a giant worm to kill too.
And you got your base to start building in the north.
And
There's a lot of options and a lot of time.
some followers here to convert around the oasis.
Could these parts here be used to make the Furious Kitten the Furious Cat?
What's that?
Upgrade the ship.
Make it a bit bigger?
Yeah, like in Reboot when they put web creature skeletons on the ship. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh.
I was picturing the internal working, like, people have to, like, wear blindfolds or special lenses so they go fucking nuts from looking at the
Goggles.
gears. Yeah.
The goggles.
They do something.
But yes, you have many things you can do, and there's nothing actually pressing to do.
Yeah, this isn't like
I want to
an-
impress upon. There's no time limit. There's
Yeah.
no end of the world. There are things you can do if you want.
I would definitely like to collect the rest of this tech and destroy it. Yeah.
easy enough for me to make
I mean,
a
Tracker,
thing,
yeah.
a tracker.
yeah. Just hold it. Put in the Dragon Horde. Nobody can see it from the Dragon Horde.
That could literally just be me using that gift of mine to make advanced technology. I wouldn't even need to use Dominion for it. Just
Yeah.
Mhm. Also, maybe first fight the worm, because Massimo's right here.
Do we?
So,
Sure.
Do we need to fight the worm?
we don't need to, but he wants to.
also
And there's
celestial
no-
shards.
But I mean,
There's no reason not to.
It's a
Fuck that
subquest.
guy.
What? Why didn't you like him?
He's a future person. He's a hell diver.
Helldivers just want to kill hell. That's a good thing. Like,
That's
they like combat a little bit over much, but
That's like
Literally,
half of
Doom
the
music's
world.
playing in the background of his mind at all times.
yeah.
I mean, you're already with two future people and a person who likes combat a little too much.
And I look past that.
I suffer it. You know who isn't a future person who's just like you? The Horned King.
Yeah.
You can be best friends.
I guess we can kill the worm.
Yay!
Like, there's really no reason not to. It's not like this world actually has an ecosystem where if you destroy one thing, everything else falls into balance. It doesn't matter.
I was about to say that, but you raise a good point.
Isn't there some Doomsday Clock like, oh, the more breakers you kill, eventually something gets unleashed?
No, that's just the
That's
season.
the seasons.
season.
If you kill the
Ah.
seasons, then the Trask gets unleashed. But the Helldivers are currently working to kill the Trask, so if we just wait for them
Well,
to
they're not
do
going
their-
to kill it. They're just going to drill into it and take its parts. It regenerates endlessly. So they're just going to, crucify it to wherever it is and just take from it forever.
Well, as long as they can't get up, that's the goal. So once they do that, then we'll kill the seasons.
Best RPG. Yeah, transfer.
Oh, yeah, Salt and Moons. Oh, yeah.
Plus, once they're drilling into his brain and tearing parts out, we can just activate it anyway, and you'll be like, oh god, oh god.
Why did you do this? I'm like Moo from Monster Rancher.
I'm Juggernaut.
Kill me.
I would like to go back and set up a base sooner
City?
rather than later.
Yeah.
So that we're not just carrying everything around in the kitten.
Yeah.
Listen, this worm thing, he only died like 50,000 years in the future. It's not really a pressing concern. And the longer we wait, the bigger he gets, so more glory, more parts, more resources.
Fair. I figured we were already all here, but
I mean, you have a flying ship, and I also have hell portals. It's not like this is far away.
Additionally, people live in the oasis mostly, in the desert, which the worm clearly isn't eating, so it's not like there's people constantly being eaten by this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, no more than any other worm in the desert. This place is riddled with them. Like, he points off to the horizon where there's like a sandstorm, and you see an outline coming up through the ground, being shocked by lightning. No more than usual. Like, it's the grandfather of the desert.
We can drop off some things here at the oasis that we are southern base. Okay, people will congregate here. Let's spruce that a bit.
It's not a bad idea.
Help the people here. Help whoever ventures to the oasis. Okay, so I think we've got roughly what we want to do.
Perfect.
Find the parts, eventually go back north.
You guys will figure something out between now and next week, I'm sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, so I was Devin,
Nicole.
Tyler?
Kevin?
Peter?
Mark!
and this is sponsored by Nobody, signing off.